Why don't we let it grow, grow, grow? I think it's time we stop tripping on our toes. What's holding you back now, sugar? 'Cause I don't know, sure know you want it. Afraid to let it show. And I know you need it. Why don't we let it grow? Why don't we let it rock? Why don't we let it grow, 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 grow? It grows stronger for every day. We just can't keep it away. No, yeah. Grow, 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 grow. It grows stronger for every day. We just can't keep it away. Oh, make you move before someone takes place.
Good morning, Tina.
I know how you feel.
How we doing, love?
Say to my face, I sure know you want it. Afraid to let it show. And I know you need it. Why don't we let it grow? Why don't we let it grow? Why don't we let
Good
it
morning, good morning, good morning.
grow, grow?
I am good. I was waiting to hear from you. Was about to check on you. I've been so tied up I didn't get a chance to get back to you.
It grows stronger for every day. We just
Good morning, Wide Eye. Morning, morning. No, it's understandable. No rush. I'm here. Listen, I've been grinding and just trying to get things together. Trying to find time to take a deep breath. Got a daddy-daughter's dance to go to tonight. Got a client I got to see today. So I can't go super long today. I got to actually be mindful of time today. Okay. Well, tomorrow's Sunday. I'm more. Well, hit me up because I'm going to be running around tomorrow, and then Sunday I got a bowl. So just send me a message. We'll set something up. I got you. I'll make time. Yeah, we're gonna have fun. We did the daddy-daughter dance last year. It was a great time. So me and her go. Her mother goes with us as well. So we all hang out. Yeah, listen. I would love to shoot another 300. It's been a while. It's been 10 years since I shot my first 300. I've come close though. A couple of 280s, a couple of 298. Yeah, I've come close. Got you. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome. I am Keith K.L. Belvin. It must be Friday if you're seeing me. So welcome. If this is your first time here, make yourself known. Say hello and tell me where you're checking in from. Come on. Hey, Lady P, happy Friday to you as well. So welcome. And if you have been here before, come in and say hello to me. Don't hide. You don't have to. And again, I am Keith K.L. Belvin, crisis specialist, human service counselor, author, educator, and every Friday I come on to have a conversation about personal development, relationships, or anything in between. Jersey Shore. I haven't been over to the Jersey Shore in a while. Alabama. I have not been to Alabama, even though I have done business in Alabama with some churches in Alabama in the past. Kate Wilson, okay. Jersey Shore, yeah, I haven't been over to Jersey Shore in a minute. I used to live in South Jersey in Salem County when I messed up in New York, but anyway. Hey, shout out from VA, let's go. I was in VA in March, Alabama years ago, okay. I was in VA in March. Mechanicsville and right outside of Richmond. We bowled at two different centers. But today we're talking about 10 reasons why creating an emotional safe space in a relationship is crucial. Why it is crucial to create an emotional safe space for your partner. I'm going to give you 10 reasons why you must create a safe emotional space for your partner. And the same for yourself. And while we're having everybody come in, again, I want to remind everybody that I have a GoFundMe that I am raising money for my lovely daughter to take her to Michigan for 10 days. She is qualified for bowling nationals, and we're going to be in Michigan in July. So I am raising money early. The GoFundMe link is in my bio. We're trying to get to 5K. I think we're at 22 21, 22, or 23. I got to check. Wonderful young lady. She is in a specialized Chinese program, as well as she's an honor roll student, and I have no problem with asking for help. If you've seen any of my videos, I show everything that she's doing, so you know what your investment is going into. And so I want to be able to make sure we get everything in place. Also, if this is your first time being here, I am the author of a few books, but my most recent book is 12 Steps to Recovering from a Toxic Relationship. And what is a toxic relationship? Any relationship that you were in that was not healthy. So if you were in an unhealthy relationship and now you have gotten out of it, or now you're looking to start over and you're trying to figure out what to do, check out my new book, 12 Steps to Recovering from a Toxic Relationship. The link is in my bio. But as I said to you, I have written a few other books. Here's at least 4 of them. But I've been a part of about 5 or 6 anthologies, so I have contributed to other books as well. So you're not just looking and listening to somebody. I've also been featured. Again, you should know this magazine right here. So my wife and I have been featured in this magazine, so I have been giving out information for a minute. As you see here, Black Love Lessons. So Ebony Magazine said, we want to give our readers some information on how to deal with things. And as you see, there you go. Love doesn't hurt. And that is my lovely wife and I. So I have been doing this thing for a little while and trying to help other people. So I come to the table with receipts. I come to the table with the idea of knowing what I'm trying to do to help other people. I am real about what I do. And so I just want to say thank you for being here. You could be anywhere else, but I'm glad that you're here with me. Hey, JT. And our goal, I'm going to change the goal. Our goal is 25K in likes. We hit the 20. We hit it all the time anyway, so nice. My daughter went on a trip to China summer with a group. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, my daughter's learning Mandarin Chinese. She's in a Chinese program, immersion program, so she's learning Mandarin Chinese. This is now 4th grade, so this is her 5th year. She started in kindergarten, and so she's putting in the work, and she's getting it. And she's an honor roll student, so she's doing her thing. And we're trying to, and she bowls, and so we're taking her to nationals in July. So regardless of whatever it is, I'm trying to raise some money, but whatever happens, I'm gonna make it happen. But I definitely could use some help. We got to be there in Michigan for 10 days. So again, so you guys, while you're here, while people are coming in, you guys in the chat, tell me how your week has been since last week. I have not talked to some of you since last week. Thank you. I appreciate that, Anointed. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm happy. I'm very honored to be her dad. And so I'm trying to get her not to make the mistakes that I made. So she is the youngest of 7. Yeah, I was out there in those streets. I'm new, but it's been, okay, well, welcome to be here, trying. Thank you for being here. Yeah, listen, I wrote about it in my book. I was out in those streets doing a whole lot of things that men ain't supposed to do. And I even talked about it in my book, From Gigolo to Jesus. So when I know what it takes for a man to transition, I know what it takes for a man to go from being a whore to a loving man of God and a loving husband. So don't say men don't change. They do, but it requires a lot of work and a lot of admission to the negatives that you once were connected to. And that's one of the things that I do in my counseling session. Rough week, looking forward to getting into books this week. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I've been studying, and I think the quiet time that I've been spending with God this last month and a half has really helped me. I needed to meditate. I'm learning to be more patient in terms of sitting quietly, because I'm a person that likes to do some things. But I needed to just have some quiet time alone with the Lord, because there's some changes I got to make. And I'm not happy with some of the changes. And I know that when I make these changes, there's going to be some people unhappy, but I got to do what I believe. My book. Oh, you just... Thank you, JT. I really hope you enjoy it. Wow, thank you. I really hope you enjoy it. What has helped you when you were fighting on how to have a relationship with God? Spending time with Him, trying. I have learned that studying in a quiet space with an open mind and open heart allows God to speak to you, because the stories will speak to you. Hey, Ellie. Good to see you, love. The stories will speak to you. And here's one of the things that I realized. Like, I have a master's degree in human service counseling, specializing in Christian ministry, right? But every time I read the word, it allows me to sink a little bit deeper to understand some things. Like, I read the story of Joseph over again, and I've read the story of Joseph many times. Here's what I forgot, or I didn't remember. He moved 66 members of his family from the famine when he had them come to Egypt. And he came to the realization that every negative thing he had been through was necessary to be in this position right here during the worst famine ever, to move his whole family into Egypt and cover them. So he felt and understood that it was worth everything God put him through. Many of us, while in the midst of our tornado, hurricane, or whatever storm that we're in, can't see past that. So we're feeling all trepidations about what we're going through, not realizing that on the other side, God has something for him, and not just for him. And here's nothing I got from reading Joseph. God blessed everybody around him who interacted with him. And it said, for God was with him. So Potiphar was blessed, and people at the jail were blessed. And the whole time Joseph is just doing what he was gifted to do, but it was other people making moves that eventually God positioned him where he needed to be. So it was somebody else going to the king and saying, I know a dude. And it was just things moving into place. And when it was time, he was able to flower everyone with those gifts. And I'm being patient for that. But there's moves that got to be made, and there's changes that have to happen. Sometimes those changes are forced, and we don't want them, or we don't like them, but we have to accept it. And that's what I've been studying. So to your point, trying, you have to get alone with God, but you have to open up your heart and your mind to be able to accept that a new positioning may be necessary. And I hope that that helps. And the positioning has to be in a position of an open heart and an open mind and open spirit, because to move you, sometimes God has to shake your structure to get you to let go of what you're comfortable with. Hey, LH, Elhend. So again, let me just welcome. If this is your first time here, let me know where you're checking in from. YouVersion, YouVersion or YouVision Bible app. It's fantastic, and it has tons of reading plans. YouVision. Let me just double check. Yes, YouVision. That's the one I have on my phone, and I'm studying with a friend from YouVersion Bible app. And they have some great reading plans. Shout out to Maryland. I bowl and hang out in Maryland. My father's from Capitol Heights or District Heights, one of those two. And my son is a graduate from McDaniels College. So I'm in Maryland on a regular basis. Shout out to Maryland. But yeah, YouVersion Bible app trying. It's fantastic. And you can add other people to study some of the reading plans. So the last month and a half, I've been studying with a friend of mine. She's a pastor from Texas. And we've been studying together. And when you finish each day, you can leave notes for each other to have conversations about what you just read. And it really has kept me on point with knowing somebody else is studying with me. So if I fall a day or two behind, I can catch up. But it's not that much learning to drive you crazy. And there's various plans. Some are a couple of days, some are one day, some are all year if you want to read the whole Bible. I've read the whole Bible over 3 or 4 times, but I still study it because there's still things that touch me or I need to be touched by. So, but again, if this is your first time here, thank you for being here. I am Keith K.L. Belvin, Crisis Specialist, Human Service Counselor. We're going to get into the show today. I can't go super long today because I do have a client I got to see, and I got to be there for that session to help that young person out. And then, of course, once that is done, I got to come back, get myself situated, because later on, me and the little one is going to the daddy-daughter dance today. So, but I'm still going to do what I got to do here. Let me just give you some of the rules while you're here. All you got to do is relax. I will do all the teaching, all the talking, all of that. All you got to do is hang out and interact with me in the chat. And the next thing is tap that screen. The hearts, one, keep me focused, because believe it or not, I have ADD. So the hearts actually keep me focused. Thank you, Miss Reggie. Keep tapping the screen. We're going to get to 25K likes or more. That is the goal every time I come on. Also, this is a safe space. Please don't come in here rude. Please don't come in here disrespectful. I got 2 moderators that's in here. We got Tina's here as Ellie's here. I think Ellie might be just watching, but she's quick on the draw as well. So please don't be rude and disrespectful. We would hate to have to block you. We want you to be here and hang out with us. But if you're going to be rude, this is not the place for you. I will gladly answer your questions. All I ask is you kind of keep your questions to what we're talking about so I don't get sidetracked. But if I have time at the end, I will spend an extra 5 or 10 minutes to answer any questions that you have. But you can ask your questions in between what I'm talking about. I am here to help you. I am a professional counselor. All of my professional links are in my bio. So if you're interested in a free discovery call, if you think that I'm the person that you would like to talk to, by all means, I'm here. Reach out, go to my bio, click on free discovery call. My books. My boyfriend was diagnosed with schizophrenia and only wants to self-medicate with marijuana. Well, depending on what state you're in, he should get a medical marijuana card to help him with that. But also what he should focus on is the instructions that was given to him with the diagnosis and make sure that he's getting regular conferencing with a counselor, but follow the directions that came with the diagnosis of schizophrenia. And as long as he's taking his medication, he should be able to function the way he's supposed to. So make sure that he should take his medication. I know he may not want to, but marijuana doesn't actually help as much as people think. Yes, it calms you, and yes, it keeps things in an even base. But sometimes medication is necessary. And yes, street stuff can be tainted because people out here putting formaldehyde and spraying it with all type of stuff. And then, of course, we know that there's other fentanyl and other things in there that people will put in because the higher you can get somebody, the more likely they are to come back and buy from you. So with all the legal marijuana now, just get a prescription if you're in one of those states. But he definitely should consider medication because the medication for schizophrenia that's out now is very helpful. And it helps to even things out and mellow things out. So I would definitely suggest that. So again, hope you guys have been okay. All right, what y'all got planned for the weekend before we get into the list today of the 10 reasons why creating a emotional safe space is crucial. And I thought about today's subject because I've noticed that recently I've seen that a lot of men are uncomfortable with showing their emotions, and we have to change that. I get emotional all the time. I cry over everything, and there's nothing. Live age restriction, your live may contain things. Okay, no, we're good. I have family stuff like that is an absolute must. Yes, the meds are important, Ms. Reggie, because the meds literally help balance it out. I used to work with schizophrenic patients at one of the residences that I was a supervisor, and it was critical. When one of our clients, leave his name off, when he would miss his medication, it was dangerous for everybody. But when he was under his medication, he was fine, calm, cool, and collected. And he was able to function the way that he wanted to and needed to. But once he would miss his meds or stop taking the meds, oh my gosh, it was very difficult for staff to deal with him. And a couple of times we had to have him hospitalized because he just refused to take the meds. And it became a danger to himself and a danger to others. Daughter's birthday's tomorrow along with her dad's grandmother tribute. Okay, with 100, nice. Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday to her. Blessings to you guys. Visiting parents on Saturday. Then the bar and grill opening on Sunday. Okay, let's go. Today birthday party. How'd that date go, Tina? You ain't got to give us the details, but how did that date go? Because I know you had plans. I was not trying to mess them up the other day. I hope that the date or how everything worked out perfectly. Yes, when they feel better, they stop taking meds. Yes, exactly, Miss Reggie. He seems high function most of the time, but still has symptoms. He's 26. He definitely needs to follow the advice of his doctor gave and also make sure that he is in constant conversation with his medical providers, and he has to follow the directions of the people that's trying to help him. And if he's uncomfortable with that, he can always get a second opinion, but he has to do something because it's very difficult to handle on your own, especially if it's a clinical diagnosis of schizophrenia. He'll be here next week. That's what he needs to talk to you about. Okay, listen, I'm here for it. Well, if he's seeing a therapist, well, you got to be very careful because I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I can always counsel, but if there's a therapist in place, out of respect professionally, I don't want to come into a space where there's already a professional there. I would simply tell him to follow the professional advice from his therapist if he already has one. You don't want to add a second one on the team just to add until he started following the direction of that one. But I can always offer outside advice, but I don't want to offer any type of clinical advice because it wouldn't be ethical or correct. So if he has somebody in place, then I would say follow all those directions. Give it a go first, and then go from there. Hi, I'm new here from Newark. My 6-year-old grandson, great child, loves church, has trouble listening in class. It might be the way the teacher's teaching, but one of the things that you have to focus on is you have to figure out, like myself, I had ADD, so it wasn't that I wasn't listening, it was that I was interested in everything else. You and the teacher and the social worker and the behavior specialist all need to sit down and try to figure out what he does well in the classroom and see if the teacher can create parts of the lesson that benefit him, Sherry Ann. Because my 24 years in the classroom, what I realized is that some kids don't respond to what they call traditional teaching. So I didn't. Sometimes, whether it's moving the groups around, understand the work, and it's creating lessons that allow the kid to be able to learn from their position. So you might want to meet with the teacher, meet with the social worker, meet with if there's a behavior specialist, and you want to talk about what is his learning process. Is he an auditory learner? Is he a visual learner? Is he a tactile learner? Is he touch? And are the lessons being created factoring into him being better? And that should be the goal. And your teacher should be able to explain to you how she's creating the lesson and how it includes him. Because I work with elementary kids right now in my after school program. And that's one of the things that I have to try to create ways for them to be able to come in from their point, from their intellectual point. Grandmother's deceased, and I was going to pass, not since my girls is being celebrated. My grandmother is deceased, and I was going to pass. Okay, I got you. I understand why I was just making sure I read it right. He thinks that's enough. Got to get him past that, Gabe. You might even want to do the research for him and show him that that's not enough. Yes, the teacher needs to be adaptable. My daughter has visual and lines, the tick and tactile. Okay, yes, exactly. And I'm an auditory learner, so one of the reasons you see, and I have ADD, how I handle that, one, the heart's going up. Believe it or not, it's not just because it looks good for likes. The hearts actually keep my eyes locked in on it here. And I keep the music on because it stimulates me in multiple ways, which allows me to focus. Also, this is where Tina is super important. She handles the chat, so I don't have to really read everything in the chat because I'll get sidetracked if I do that too much. So Tina will cover some things in the chat for me. I don't have to. And that allows me to work what would be a disability for some other person. It was supposed to say, no, I understood what you meant. It's okay. No, I understood. And what you got to understand is that once we understand how we learn, then we can understand how we need to be taught. And when I would teach new teachers how to teach, I would explain to them is that you need to know your children. You need to know what are your children's strengths and weaknesses. You need to do that assessment somehow to understand, is your lesson bringing kids in or is your lesson turning them off? And if it's turning them off, they're going to tear your room up. So you need to be able to involve the kids, and it can't just be lecture style of you up in front of the classroom, because that doesn't work for all the kids. You need to be moving. You need to be involved. You need to sit down. You need to be at face level. You need to be tall. You need to do a lot of things in the classroom to get your kids engaged and do it multiple ways. That way, on the day the kid has to sit there still and they're like, oh my God, I don't like sitting here. Well, they know that tomorrow is when we do the moving around in the lesson. So they can wait for tomorrow or later on in the day, depending on the age group that you have. And again, good morning, Nia. And when I was in the classroom, my last year of teaching was last year in the public schools was 2016. I had elementary kids. And one of the things that I noticed is that teachers were having them sit for too long. You cannot have little kids sit for too long. You got to get them moving. You got to get them engaged with each other. You got to get them doing something. And another thing I use is music. I always have music around because I like when the kid is tapping their head. It helps the energy. Parents of little kids who are fidgety, tell them to tap their leg. A lot of times they like to tap the desk. They like to take their pen and they like to tap on things. Tell them to tap their leg. That way they're still moving, but they're not interrupting everybody else. My youngest learns better when music is involved. Okay, there you go. There you go. But yes, when you see a little kid fidgety, stop telling them to sit still. You tell them to stop and just tell them to tap their leg. Don't tell them to stop because you're trying to tell them to stop something that might be part of their innate person. Tell them to tap their leg, not their foot, because they might make a lot of noise, but tap their leg. Just put their hand under the desk right there and tap their leg. Now, teacher go, what you doing over there? You go, just tapping my leg. But if the teacher's paying attention, they already know why the kid is tapping their leg. I'm just saying. But yeah, my first master's degree is in education. It's in curriculum. It's in assessments, teaching, and curriculum writing. So literally, I teach teachers. I used to teach teachers how to teach. My second master's degree is in human service counseling, specializing in Christian ministry. So I have a plethora of understandings of how I do things. So, and again, I thank all of you for being here to hang out with me. All right, so let's get into a little bit of what we talk about today. How many of you, hear me out, chat, how many of you know what it feels like to be in an emotionally safe space within a relationship? If you know what that feels like, put yes in the chat. If you know what it feels like to be in an emotionally safe relationship, put yes in the chat. If you know what it feels like. Thank you, Nia. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Lady P. Appreciate you. Got you. And this is important because what we're going to talk about is the creating of that space. And it's important because even if you're single, you may go, I'm not in a relationship, I don't need to know this. Yes, you do. Because you're going to want to create this for your partner when you get one, or you're going to want this for yourself when you're in a relationship. So if you're single, this is still going to help you. And I know right now it's hard being single out there, especially over 45. I know that. And my clients are over 45, from 45 to 70, but I do work with kids. I do work with young adults. But my target audience is women over 45 to 70 and men over 45 to 70. But I do work with all age groups. But when you're over 45 and have to start your life over a second time, a third time, hell, maybe even a fourth time, there's just so much that we got to try to figure out that we just weren't taught. And it's hard because the older you get, it's harder. And you also don't have as much time as you had. Okay. And keep those hearts going on the side, guys. I got you. And thank you so much for you guys who have been tapping the screen. Now, here's my question to all of you before we get started, right? How many of you know how to create an emotional safe space in a relationship? Now, I know you all know what it feels like, but how many of you know how to create it? Put me in the chat. Thank you, Tina. Put me in the chat if you know how to create an emotional safe space. And again, I realized in the last... Thank you. I see you, Tina. Let's see. Oh, no, I thought, okay, I got Tina before. What I realized in the last couple weeks, I noticed that I've seen a lot of men, while in the midst of being emotional online, they kept apologizing. So there, you could see the tears welding up. And I kept asking myself, why do they keep saying I'm sorry? And then it dawned on me. Many of us have men, many men, have been taught to suppress their emotions so much that when natural emotion, brother was talking about the passing of his young son, that's something you're supposed to be emotional about. I don't care whether you're healed from it or just dealing with it, you're going to be emotional at the loss of a child. And he was apologizing for being emotional. And my thing is, let that out. And actually, I was typing in the chat because I know him. I'm like, let that go, brother. We here, we good, we got you. And he actually had said, I'm glad I got other brothers around me to help me. And I'm like, cool, that's what I'm here for. But what I realized, and then I had, same day, God was speaking to me. I go to somebody else's spot and I'm passing by and I see him say, I got to sign off because I'm getting emotional. And again, he was apologizing. And this is something that it dawned on me, right? I grew up with my mother and my grandmother. I didn't grow up with my father until I was 39. My mother and grandmother never told me it was soft for me to be emotional. What they would say to me is, don't be emotional so long that you can't get back into the game. My grandmother was great. Cry tonight, and she said, and she Negro, but you know, she said the other word. Cry tonight, and then get your ass up and start living your life. And it was because they understood that if I didn't allow my emotions to come out, it was going to be dangerous for me. Mines didn't know when. Mines didn't know how when we lost my son. I know now. I now know why. I got you. And what I noticed over the years, especially as an educator, and I would see it with young adults, and I worked high school, I worked junior high school, and I saw it with parents, and of course, just the men I've hung out with. I noticed that men take emotion as weakness. But here's the dangerous part, ladies. I got to say something. Some of you, because you've never seen a man be emotional, become as uncomfortable as some men when you see him getting emotional, because you may have had fathers who were trained not to be emotional. So even though you're daddy's girl, it didn't sit well with you seeing a man emotional. And then unfortunately, some of you criticize the man for being emotional. Now I'm going to ask you, you don't have to respond. How many of you criticized the man that you were with when you saw him emotional? My ex-wife was that way. Okay, thank you for being honest, Tina. I appreciate that. And my ex-wife thought it was a flex to try to criticize me when I was emotional. What she didn't realize, the reason why I was emotional, because I was trying to contain myself to not do something stupid. But my mother and grandmother drummed it into my head. Don't you ever place your hands on a woman, because they will not listen to you and you will get locked up. She said, I don't care if you got to go walk miles. Walk out of the house and leave that woman alone. And I, to this day, one time in high school, I did put my hands on a female, but she was imitating a man and she was acting very bullyish. She just didn't know I wasn't that stable in high school. And I was brought up by a whole house full of Southern women. And when you decide you want to bully me from a woman's position acting like a man, it's not going to be pretty. And I was hood, very hood. And you put your hands on me, you're getting it. So she thought in high school I was soft. Bad mistake. I just knew how to hide the hood part. As my mother said, the hood is where we live. It's not how we think. And I've been that way. I've been code switching since I was 10, 9, something like that, whatever it is. But no, I've never put my hands on a woman, and I don't accept that you have to put your hands on a woman. Sometimes you have to move a woman out of the way so you can leave, but you don't have to put your hands on her. And so I do not advocating the physical aggression towards a woman at all. Leave. Walk away. Even if she's putting her hands on you. If you're not in imminent threat of danger, if you're not in a risk where she about to hurt you badly and you defending yourself, that's different. Leave. But unfortunately, over the years, a lot of us have not. Hold on one second. I'm looking at the chat. Ladies. Only Tina is the only one that got her to do emotions. Come on now. Really? I don't believe that. Just one? Okay, listen. My ex almost, it seemed, I would never. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Sherry Ann. My ex would say some things sometimes that I would almost laugh and be like, are you trying to get me to put my hands on you? I'm like, you know I'm not soft. What do you keep? I was like, and I had to smile because I was like, I really think she's trying to get me to put. I said, have you ever tried to mess with a man emotionally, tear a man down emotionally? That's the simplest way. My ex used to tear me down sometimes, and I'd be like, are you trying to get me to hit you? And then now, as I got older, and of course, as I got more educated, I realized that sometimes how we were raised as male and female comes out, of course, it comes out in how we date. And some women, and I have counseled them, said, well, he never put his hands on me, so he didn't love me. What? You do understand that he don't have to hit you to love you? And I didn't believe it until I actually heard it. And it was when I was teaching. And I remember it was a mother that said, well, he only puts his hands on me because he loves me. And I was like, that's not love, dog. Nobody has to physically abuse you to love you. She's like, you don't understand. And I always love when you don't agree with somebody, they say you don't understand. I understand, it's just wrong. I was certain not to use a man being emotional. I used to say, dang, he cried too much. But since I've been there, what's the most effective way to build someone up? Support and understanding, Sherry Ann. Take time to understand where they are and then support as they try to make moves and actually help them with the move. And then think of yourself. Think of what you need to build you up and then see which version of that the person that you're trying to build up needs. Whether it's a child, whether it's an adult, figure out where they are and then how do we pour into that person to get them to at least take ownership of where they are, to kind of accept who they are and then support them in the growth. I always kept my hands on myself. Don't put your hands on me. I don't like arguing. I got you. A lot of people don't like arguing. Growing up in South Jamaica, Queens, and in Brooklyn, and in the impoverished neighborhoods that I came up from, I seen some things that I pray many people never see. And I tell my sons, now that they're grown, and I tell my little one here who's only 10, there's things that I pray you never come across that I have seen. And I made sure I raised my kids differently than how I was raised. And so sometimes I laugh when I go, there's things they do that I would have gotten straight abused for. But growth and maturity comes with the understanding that when something's done wrong, you don't repeat it. I don't care how good you turned out. My mother actually said, rest her soul, when I said, Mom, you know the way you raised me was abuse, right? And she said, abuse? I said, yes. She said, boy, don't you have 2 master's degrees? I said, yes. She said, okay, then it wasn't abuse. I said, that's what you justified it? Because I turned out well, you thought it was okay? And she was dead serious. She's like, yes, you needed that. Okay. And there's some people who think the outcome justifies the means. No. Just because a kid turns out well doesn't justify you beating them senseless. Which some parents do. Which is the most effective? Okay, let me see. I always keep my head. Okay, there we go. Arguing is not bad. Arguing is not a bad thing. Constructive argument. We're meaning that if you're emotional, let the emotions out. People are going to argue. But in the argument, seek healing. Seek answers through the argument. Why are we arguing? Like, what are you upset about? Why am I arguing? Find the reason, deal with it, and you will heal from it. So arguing happens. People are going to argue. It's when you're arguing and have no idea why, or you don't search for any healing. Communication is critical when healing. You cannot heal anybody without having communication. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to get into the 10 reasons why creating a safe space is crucial in a relationship. We're going to have that conversation because I want to make sure I am keep an eye on the time because, like I said, I do have a few things I got to do today. Keep tapping the screen. We're almost at 10K likes. I appreciate it. We're going to be over 25. We're going to get to 30 today, I'm pretty sure. So we got a good group today, and you guys keep responding and working with me. I got you. So let's do this. Let's get into today's list. Okay, and again, if you're new here, please let us know where you're checking in from. And I am Keith K.L. Belvin, and I'll be your host for the next hour and a half. So hang out, follow Tina's lead, follow Ellie's lead. So we got a number 1 in the chat. Please we got 7 people here. I want to hear from all 7 people. Put 7 ones in the chat. Let's go. Put a number 1 if you're ready to get started. Why do I see this restriction up here? Let's see what this says. Oh, it's an age restriction. Okay, that's fine. So the kiddies can't watch today's show. There we go. Thank you, Fashionistas. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you, Lady P. Thank you, Sherry Ann. Here we go. All right. And I just mentioned the first one. I wasn't even paying attention. But the first one on the list, and Tina, I'm sorry I didn't send you the list ahead of time. The 10 reasons. Thank you, fun guy. Number 1 on the 10 ways of communicate. Excuse me, let me get myself together. Number 1 on the list of 10 reasons to create an emotional safe space is enhances communication. So to create a safe space, we have to enhance communication. And this is critical. If you want to have an emotional safe space in a relationship, you have to enhance communication. An emotional safe space allows both partners to express their feelings openly and honestly without fear of judgment or retaliation. This leads to a better understanding and it offers better communication. You have to be able to converse with each other, to communicate with each other. You got to be able to allow a person to get their feelings out openly and honestly. The minute you have to suppress your feelings is the minute that the relationship starts dying. The minute that you do not feel that you can be open, the relationship is heading downhill. How many of you have been with somebody that you just couldn't feel that you could communicate how you felt about whatever? Put me in the chat if you were with someone like that. Put me in the chat. Thank you, Tina. Put me in the chat if you were with somebody that you just felt, okay, Lane. And it's important that we recognize this too, because we also have to check why we allowed it to happen too, because also we have to play a role in creating an emotional safe space for ourselves. But we definitely want to be able to create that with the person that we're with. I got you, Lady P. I got you, Sherry Ann. Now here's a bigger question, all right? Thank you so much for you guys responding. How many of you made it difficult for the person that you were with to communicate to you. Hey, Shelly, good to see you. How many of you made it difficult for the person to communicate with you? Tell the truth. Thank you, Lane. Thank you, Fashionista. And that's important too. We got to be honest. If we're going to heal and we're going to grow, we got to be honest with ourselves. How many of you made it difficult for the person to communicate with you? And sometimes we made it difficult because we didn't want to hear what they said because we knew they were going to be right. I deal with that too. I've been in counseling sessions. I'm like, well, if you felt that way, how come you didn't have a conversation with? Because I knew she was going to be right. I knew he was going to be right. Me now when I know better. I got you, Sherry Ann. And that's another thing too. Be okay with being wrong. And be okay with being hurt if you did something wrong. You got to own it. Healing comes from acceptance. You just didn't want to hear it. I got it, Tina. I know. My ex was that way. She did not fight clean. She would argue, yell, and scream. And as soon as I get ready to say something, she would walk off. And I'm like, yo, don't you walk away. Nah, what you doing? And she would walk off. And then if I would follow her, she would go, what you walking up on me for? And I would laugh because I'm almost like, what you going to do? And I'm like, and I realized it was a battle tactic. She would engage dirty because she didn't want to get anything back. So she'd flare her chest up. And I almost look at her like, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for a ride. And I would go get in my car and go, yes, I was cheating often. I ain't gonna lie. I was cheating often. I just wanted peace of mind, so I found it with other women. Yes, I was that whore. I was that dude who just found comfort in the arms of other women because I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Because, yes, I had kids, and I just was like, you know what? I'm going to go out for a while. He talked too much and showed his emotion too much. I was just, okay, I got you. Listen, some women don't know how to deal with emotional men. I get it. I understand. It don't make it right, but I understand. My issue is intellectually matched with people. I had to leave people behind. Of course, you're supposed to, Sherry Ann. Not everybody is designed to go to every level with you, Sherry Ann. So as we grow, that's the reason, season, lifetime part. Some people are a reason, some people are seasoned, and some people are going to travel with you throughout your life. Some people came through just to offer you understanding of that particular thing. Some people, it might be your season of growth or your season of pain. And then some people are going to travel with you your whole life. But whatever it is, not everybody goes to every level with you. I acted like that in the end. Leave me alone. I understand. I can accept my faults now. That's a great thing, Tina. That's my motto. I got you, Sherry Ann. And I'm that way now. I will engage. I give a person an opportunity to be heard, and then I'm out. I'm not going to engage with negativity. I'll give you an opportunity to be heard. I'll hear it. I'll respond, and then I'm done. I don't do the back and forth. Plus, my wife and I now, we don't argue at all. We work it out because I grew into understanding who I was, and I didn't want to be him. And again, you don't write a book called From Gigolo to Jesus and you don't have a story of what that transformation looked like. I had to realize that my lovely wife and God is what I needed. But I actually had to allow them to play a position in my life instead of me having to be in control of everything. And that took a lot because for 37 years, I was doing me. But the last 19, I understood what that took. And it almost took losing a fantastic relationship because I couldn't get out of my own way of what I wanted to do. So number one, with enhanced communication, it's important. And it's one of the reasons why when I became a counselor, I have always counseled. Let me just say that. I've been using my godly gift for years. It's just now, in the last 19 years, I've used this gift to serve God. Before I was using my gifts to serve me. It doesn't work. No matter how accomplished I thought I was, it's not working when you make it about yourself. Because I wasn't trying to serve, I was trying to be served. And I was using my gifts to manipulate others instead of actually help others heal. And we have to be very careful of that. Those are called counterfeit blessings, where you think you're being rewarded for using your gifts, but it is not an actual blessing. But your gifts are rewarding you, but they're not actual blessings from God because it is you're serving you. You're not serving anybody else. And of course, you're not serving God. Just hold that for a little bit. Park that over to the side and just give it some time. Let that one marinate. All right. Now you're in, of course, I try to be. And I know when I'm getting away from my purpose, Sherry Ann. And my spirit gets troubled when I find myself not where I should be and not doing what I'm supposed to. And that's why I take the time out to sit with God quietly. When I don't feel I'm where I'm supposed to be, I have learned to listen to the inner voice that I didn't before. The inner voice would come after I would do what I did. Now, the spirit inside me guides me to not do anything that I might think stupidly, but more importantly, it actually helps calm me to search for better answers that have nothing to do with me. I'm just the vessel now. I had to learn how to open myself up to allow intelligent downloads to come from God. A lot of people don't understand how to do that, but you can get there once you become better acquainted with yourself. All right, you guys ready for number 2 in the 10 reasons creating an emotional safe space in a relationship is crucial, or why it's crucial to create emotionally safe space in a relationship? Y'all ready for number 2? Let's get 10 twos because I got 10 people here watching. Come on. Let's get 10 twos. Follow Tina's lead, guys. Let's get 10 twos. There's 1. There's 2. Thank you, Sherry Ann. Thank you, Fashionista. Thank you, JT. There's 4. Thank you, Wide Eye. There's 5. Come on, we halfway there. Let's get 5 more twos. I know some of y'all hanging out. And if you're at work, I understand. All right, we're going to take the 5. I'm going to get y'all moving today. And y'all done keep tapping that screen. Y'all got, I know we're only a few of y'all today, but we still, thank you, fun guy. We're going to get the 20 plus K likes today, even with a small group today. I love it. All right, number 2. 10 reasons why creating an emotional safe space is crucial in a relationship. It builds trust. Builds trust. An emotional safe space in a relationship builds trust. And I say it a few times because I'm giving Tina a chance to put it in the chat, guys. Keep tapping the screen. I appreciate you. When partners feel they can share their deepest fears, desires, and vulnerabilities without being criticized, their trust strengthens. You trust grows when you feel you can be as open and as raw about yourself as possible. Let me tell you something. The reason why many of us get betrayed in relationships is that we allowed ourselves to be in this vulnerable position with somebody who didn't earn it or only gave us surface. They gave us the appearance that they loved us, gave us the appearance that they cared, gave us the appearance that they wanted to do right by us. We took that, grabbed the baton, and opened up our chest fully, only to get, yeah. And it's important that once hurt, that you heal that hurt so you can get back to this position with the new person, whenever that new person comes, whoever that new person is going to be. And if we don't deal with the pain, it can become ingrained and buried deep in us that it becomes harder. It becomes so hard to allow someone close to you that you could be in a relationship and be like Miss Seeley at the church. Everybody's celebrating and you. So here, everybody having a wonderful time and you don't want to be that way. You don't want to be Miss Seeley in the church, unable to celebrate because her own pain is overwhelming. And what a lot of people forget in Color Purple is that Miss Seeley was a business owner at that point. She was a homeowner at that point. She had survived domestic violence. She had survived SA. Where can I rewatch the video? Which one? Which video? This one or which one, Shelly? Yeah, people miss that in Color Purple too. That she was a business owner, she was a homeowner. Oh, you can watch over the Oh, okay, yeah. I thought that's what you was asking. Over on my YouTube channel, Shelly, all of my shows are over on my YouTube channel. I post them up normally within a day or two of the show, so you can go watch them. Make sure you subscribe. It'll send you a notification when I put up the new videos. But all the shows go over there once we're done, because I know you got to run. So don't worry. Gotcha. Well, definitely subscribe and then leave a comment when you watch and let me know how you feel about it. But yeah, people forget that about Miss Seeley. She was a homeowner, business owner. She was in a good spot. She had overcame the domestic violence. She had overcame the SA. She had overcame her 2 children being taken from her. But she was empty because she did not feel loved at all. So even though somebody else was having their moment, it was very difficult for her. And another thing that people miss, it was Mr., the person who was abusing her, who helped heal her, who helped put back together the one thing that she wanted. Yes, take time to heal before dragging your new... Yes, there we go. Yeah, you cannot, don't date if you're not healed. And how do you know you're healed? When the things that used to bother you don't even move you. I was recently at a baby shower for my son, one of my sons, and my ex-wife was there. We hugged, nodded. That was it. Cool. Have a good evening. And she said hello to my wife, and that was it. I can see a little look on her face, but it's okay. I'm good. If you not, ain't nothing I can do about that. And it's funny because my son's girlfriend has said he's so glad you're here. I said, why? He said he thought you might not show up because he knows how his mother gets. I said, listen, if my son asked me to be somewhere for him, I ain't worried about his mom. He's like, yeah, but he was just worried because, his mom. I said, I'm not worried about his mom. We good. I'm here for him. I'm not here for her. She can act any way she want. My son asked me to be here. I'm here for him. That's what I'll be doing since we're divorced. Okay, listen. You sign the forms. Give yourself time to grieve and to heal. And when I say grieve, nobody gets married to end up divorced. Grieve the fact that it failed. Take the time to heal. Hey, Mystic. Take the time to heal and then go ahead and live life. The 6 months, the time between my divorce, I was a wild animal. When I left my ex, that time for about 6 months, I was just out of control. I didn't realize I was grieving or I was feeling down, that I was just, I'm lucky I didn't catch something. It was my mom who said, let me get this right. So you're going to get out of your marriage and go out here and get AIDS because you can't control yourself? But I didn't realize how miserable I was. For 6 months, I was just I did not care. I'm at this lady's house, that lady's house. I'm leaving some lady's house and going straight to work. Sometimes I'd leave out on a Friday and come back and Sunday I got the same clothes on. Hey, Lady Locke, because I didn't deal with the hurt initially. Took me 6 months before I even got started. So, but now I'm happily divorced and happily remarried, because once you put it in perspective, you're good. Once you can heal, it won't hurt you. And once you're healed, you give the new person an opportunity to come closer and be a part of you, bond with you, and then you can actually change into something. Sometimes it's challenging to come to the realization you're not bothered by past hurts. Listen, it is challenging, but that's the whole reason why we should take marriage more serious on the front end. It's devastating, not challenging, it's devastating. Nobody gets married to end up divorced. But once it gets there, you still got to live. You still got to go on. You still got to figure out what the rest of your life is going to be, and you got to deal with that pain. Especially if somebody hurts you, or if it was mutual, or you was the person that hurt somebody else. You still got to grow. Oh, that sounds like him. I got you, Wide Eye. Well, hopefully he'll make some changes. Hopefully he'll figure it out. And the same for yourself. Hopefully you'll get past the pain and you'll figure it out. And I am sure there'll be somebody else out there for you. I didn't think like that at first. And then I realized there is. Because the 10 years I spent with her not being happy, oh my God, the 24 years I spent with my wife, I sometimes ask myself, why did I even spend 10 years in that when I am ecstatic now? I didn't know better. When you know better, you do better. Both people in a new relationship should have done, yes, they should have. They should have. But Sherry Ann, you and I both know not everybody does. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here to try to help, guys. Because we have to try to do better by at least acknowledging we don't know and then getting some help. All right, here we go. So we're going to get ready to go on to number 3. But first, let me just restate something here. I am Keith K.L. Belvin, Crisis Specialist. I got you. But you guys are not tapping the screen. What's going on here? Y'all, I know everybody here ain't new. Thank you. There we go. There go those hearts. Come on. Can't be with I am not mad at you, Sherry. You cannot, because it will steal your energy and eventually steal life from you. If you get with somebody who's unhealed, it will absorb your life force from you. I know, Tina, they're leaving you hanging with the tapping of the screen. We're going to get everybody tapping. Come on, help Tina out. Tina out there breaking her wrist. Her finger about this big right now. Y'all help Tina out, tap that screen, guys. But number 3, because I see number 3. You're eating lunch. I got you, Shelly. Number 3, it supports emotional health, guys. The number 3 reason why creating an emotional space in a relationship is crucial, it supports emotional health, Tina. You can write that in. Supports emotional health. There you go. Thank you, Tina. Providing a safe emotional environment helps each partner manage stress, anxiety, and depression more effectively, contributing to an overall emotional well-being. How many of you right now, be honest with me in the chat, believe you are in a good, borderline great or more emotional, healthy position for yourself? How many of you are in a great emotional health position right now? Put me in the chat. If you're in a good or better emotional health position, be honest with me. Come on. And if you're not sure, say, I don't know. And if you're not, just go, not me. Because it's important. Healing starts with an acceptance of what you're doing. You have to accept where you are. On my way there. Thank you, Shelly. Thank you for the honesty. That's nothing too. The more honest with you are, I believe I'm better. Could be better. There you go. Honesty is the key. Because if you come to any counselor worth their grain of salt, and I'm bigger than a grain of salt, the more honest and truthful you are with me, the better it is for me to be able to help you. Not me, but I'm learning. Take your time, Wada. You're just getting started on a journey that now has to start from a negative starting point. It is okay not to be there now. You have to focus on, think with the end in mind. Say, you know what, but at some point, I'm going to be great. And now we start the journey from not so great to, ooh, when I get there. And understand, as you get there and learn, you're going to start to turn into somebody new. You're going to become a force. So when you get there, the person that is there for you, when y'all get together at that point, oh my God. He gonna be like, somebody didn't want you? Are they crazy? And you're gonna be like, exactly. Trust me when I tell you. Always think with the end in mind, guys. Who is it that you want to be when all this falls down right? And then let's start putting that work in. 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. Check out Stephen Covey's book. You're not old, you're alive. Old? What's old mean? That's subjective. Old? And? You alive, right? You here, right? You got your wits and senses, right? Old. I got gray. And that ain't even gray. That's sexiness. I don't even call it gray. That's sexiness. I remember when it wasn't as sexy. It was a little different color. But it's sexiness now. It went from pepper to salt and pepper. Yeah. To just salt. There's still a little pepper sprinkled in there, but it's drying up. So now it's almost fully sexy. Almost. You seasoned. Come on, Lady P. Oh, I don't accept that. I reject that. I am becoming more mature and more sexy. I told my wife, if aliens kidnap her, oh, the game ain't ready for me if I come back. Man, all these men messing around, all these women. Man, listen, you let aliens snatch my boy. The world ain't ready. And I write poetry too, but I hope I don't come back into the game. These young brothers be in trouble. But anyway. All right. So we know where we are in terms of our emotional health. That is critical, guys. And humor is one of my biggest ways to calm myself. I tell jokes all the time. Sometimes I tell jokes in places where people go, why are you playing? Because that's how I keep myself calm. I joke at funerals. I joke at everything. And my sensei, okay, that's right. 56 is not, that's right. See, I'm 56. I don't know about the new 36. My knees would argue with you, fun guy. I'm 56 and my knees are 67. The rest of me might be 36, but my knees are 67. Humor, meditation, prayer, physical activity, give it a break. All these things can help you find you. Reflection, but reflecting on the positives, not the negatives. Your religious space can offer some healing because this is a great time to reconnect your spirit side. There's so many things that you can do to help you to deal with any type of emotional health issues that you're dealing with to get you to where you. Have a great day, Shelly. Let me know what you think from the replay when you watch it. So let's go to number 4, guys. All right, so let's put some 4s in the chat. And again, I want to thank all of you for being here. Let's go with number 4. Put some 4s in the chat. Follow Tina's lead. Oh, yeah, thank you. I appreciate you. And we're talking about the 10 reasons creating an emotional safe space is critical in a relationship. Thank you, Mystic. Thank you, Sherry Ann. Thank you, Wide Eye. All right, so number 4. Thank you, Ellie. Ellie, you just ear hustling, Ellie, or you moderating from the back as well? Because I know you got a lot going on too. Ellie was the original moderator. Well, Ellie is still a moderator. And her and Tina, listen, I have been blessed to have 2 wonderful young ladies to help me out. So God is really good. And I've had a chance to meet Ellie. I haven't had a chance to get out to California to meet Tina yet. But let me tell you something. I have been blessed to have 2 people help me who don't even know me. And I appreciate it. And I did get the chance to meet Ellie over the summer. Wonderful young lady, wonderful children. We had fun. It was a great time sitting in still hustling at work. I got you. And that's another thing too. To me, once I get to meet somebody, it really brings everything full circle. I don't get caught up in the whole social media thing because I realize anybody can be anybody on social media. It's another thing when I sit across from you and I have a chance to meet you, and I am old school that way. I look forward to sitting in the presence of somebody because that's when you can really get to know somebody. I don't trick off of you looking and sounding real good and all other stuff on social media. I like to be able to sit across from somebody because I'm an old-fashioned communicator. I still think people need to be in the presence of each other. There's nothing wrong with social media. I still think we need to strive to be in the presence of each other to make an honest connection. And that should be a goal when you have people that you associate with who do good things for you. The goal should be at some point within the relationship, get to where they are to be able to see them, connect with them. And even if it's just that one time, it will help lament the relationship even better. That's just my own thoughts. So again, let me get into number 4. You guys keep tapping that screen. We're at 15K. We're going to go for 20 to 25. Oh, here we go. I got to do the little registration thing that TikTok now to make sure. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. You got to now do this in a live to make sure you're not a computer. There we go. Verification completed. Okay. So thank you for the hearts, Tina. Appreciate that. All right. So number 4 is it encourages growth. Number 4, in the 10 reasons creating an emotional safe space is critical in a relationship, it encourages growth. And again, I'll say it a couple of times because I'm giving Tina a chance to put it in the chat. Encourages growth. Thank you, Tina. When partners feel secure, they're more likely to take personal risks that lead to growth. They can include exploring new hobbies, pursue careers, opportunities, or addressing individual issues. Let me tell you something. When you and your partner, my wife and I were in a great space. So 8 years ago, we made the decision to leave New York. I left $100,000 on the table as an educator in the New York City school system. She was working for the DMV in New York. And so she left, I think it was 40 something. Almost 50. So it was $150,000 leaving on the table. We did not have jobs here. We had some money that we had put to the side, but we just knew it was time. In our spirits, we both knew. I knew 5 years earlier, but I didn't want to burden my wife with that. So I wanted to try to figure it out. And I should have trusted her more and just said, hey, look, Rick, because as soon as I told her, I said, look, I'm really ready to get out of New York. She said, I've been ready to go. I just wasn't sure if you was ready. I said, oh, so you was thinking the same thing. We didn't come to the table and have that conversation because we should have moved 5 years earlier. But okay, when we got here, we created a whole plan. We started in 2015. Knowing we were going to leave. So by the time we got to 2016, we were ready to go. And everything fell into place because not only did we pray on it, we made sure we moved strategically. We made sure that we understood what we were doing and we understood what we were going to do and how we were going to do it. And it was time to go. But the growth that comes from being in an emotionally safe space with your partner allows you to take chances that you wouldn't take alone. Because if it blows up, you want to be able to have somebody not say, I told you so. Says, okay, we'll get him. We'll get it next time. It didn't work. And that's what emotional growth allows, is that you can go out and do some things when you got a husband or a wife or you got a girlfriend or a boyfriend, somebody who's going to say, nah, I got you. Let's go. I'll hold the rope. Come on, climb on down there. Or you hold the rope and I'll climb on down there. Whatever it is. That growth is necessary. That connection is necessary. And let me ask you guys in the chat, how many of you look back now and realize there were some things that you would have pursued, but you just didn't feel like the person that was in your life was going to support that move. Put me in the chat. Put me in the chat if there were moves that you would have made, and now when you think about it, probably should have made, but you just didn't have that support from that person that was in your life at that time. Husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Got you, Tina. Got you, Wada. And that's important because that stunts growth. Because those are moves that you didn't get to make that could have maybe pushed you to another level. So it goes back to what Sherry Ann said. Not everybody can go with you to every level. Some people you got to cut loose. Some people they got to go. Some people cannot remain in your life when they're fearful. Let me tell you what's funny. My mother and grandmother both gave me all this reasoning about why I shouldn't move from New York to Delaware. And it started to touch me emotionally. And then I had to take a step back and I said, no, that's their fear. They were trying to keep me in New York because they wanted me close to them. And I get it and I understood it. But I understood what God had me feel and what my wife was feeling. And it was time for both of us to go. And when I look back, even though my mother and grandmother are no longer here, I realized it was the best move that I could have made at that time and for my child and for us as a couple. You can't heal in the place you were hurt. No, you cannot. Well, you can, Sherry, only if the person who hurt you is willing to climb in and do the work with you. If they acknowledge they hurt you, and they're willing to get the help to fix them while you're working on you, yes, you can. But it has to be a strong understanding of the acknowledgement and the actual plan of action that's not included in just them. You can. But you can't be fixed by the person that hurt you. They can assist you. You got to heal you in whatever form or fashion that's going to take. Counseling, spiritual connections, whatever it's going to be, but they can assist you in the healing. They can't heal you, but they can be healing themselves. And the two of you, from getting healed, can reposition yourselves and you can go from there. The energy needs to change. So no, it doesn't need to change. The outcomes need to change. The energy is going to change regardless. You can't stay the same. You move on when you know the energy is dead. When you know that this person is not helping you in any way, the energy is not there in any way, then it's time to go. People make mistakes, and also people may not know how to get past how they were raised or what they were influenced by. But if they're willing to do the work and they're willing to show you that they're doing the work, and you can see the work changing them, and you can trust the thing that's helping them do the work, meaning professional help, spiritual help from a positive position, well, as you're doing the work, because the one thing that will always be noticed, and I just talked about this the other day, is good work. Boaz noticed the work that Ruth was doing in the fields to feed her and Naomi. So from a distance, he could see what she was doing and became attracted to her from a distance. So when we can do the work and the people that are supposed to care or hurt us is doing the work as well, we can recover from the damage that was done. But it does require yeoman's work. Don't get me to say it's easy, because it's not. But it's doable. But that's where you have to make the decision on what this means to you and if it's even worth it. If it's not, then it's time to move on. But we were built to recover from anything if given the opportunity, and if given both people want to do the work. All right, you guys ready for number 5? If you're ready for number 5, let's put some 5s in the chat. And again, I'm just keeping an eye on the time because I do have some counseling sessions today. Thank you, Sherry Ann. Thank you, Tina. And Sherry Ann, thank you so much. I appreciate it because I love the interaction, because no, Melly, you don't get to cheat and give everybody 5s. That counts as 1 5. Melly out here handing out 5s. Here, take this 5. Just get online. No, that's... I love it though. All right, so we got the 5s. Number 5 on the 10 reasons creating an emotional safe space is critical in a relationship is it deepens intimacy. Now I'll take a minute with that. Deepens intimacy. Number 5 is it deepens intimacy. I'll go into a second. If you ask me why do I keep saying it over again, I'm giving Tina a chance to put it in the chat for you guys. Number 5 deepens intimacy. and then I'll explain it. There we go. Thank you, Tina. Emotional safety. Emotional safety is foundational for intimacy. It allows partners to connect deeper, enhances physical and emotional intimacy. Now listen to me. Listen to me. This is my area right here. When you can be emotionally free with your partner, when the two of you can be unadulteratedly open, the type of intimacy that can be had between you will be greater than any sex you ever had, because it'll be greater than sex itself. Take a minute with that. When you can allow yourself to be wide open and connected to somebody in an emotionally safe position, you can become to somebody else something that you've never seen in yourself before. Because the idea of what you are and what you can be, when somebody allows you to be that and you could be that for them, be greater than any sex you ever had. And here's the crazy part. You may not even have to have sex, because you will not be having sex. You will be making love. The act of sex may seem similar, but the idea and the feelings behind real loving intimacy, sex can never touch that. And some folks, the reason why they don't understand that is because they've only had sex. They've never actually been in a place where they could be so emotionally free that the just touch, the mere touch, is stimulating. And if what I just said has never resonated with you, and you go, well, where are these people at? That means you got some work to do. Because the one thing I can tell you is what caused me to care through the hundreds and whatever, it's been hundreds, but the few that I actually cared about was because I was able to be Keith. I didn't have to be my nicknames. I didn't have to be this. I could be me. And often, it had nothing to do with the sex. Resonates. Come on, somebody. Ooh, I felt that in my spirit. Amazing. No reservations and innovation. Yes. Facts. Absolute facts. That's a big one. Both benefits is French benefit. Yes, that's true. Exactly, guys. And here's the beautiful thing. This is where, who said old? I think it was Wide Eye said old, right? But this is where age and maturity kick in. See, the beauty of being older, we've made enough mistakes to know what we don't like. But one of the beauties of being more mature, now mature has nothing to do with age. Mature has to do with acceptance and growth. Understand the difference. When we've gotten to a position of acceptance and growth, and you are paired with somebody who feels the same way, listen. They'll turn one session into like 4 hours and be like, we ain't even do nothing yet. No, we haven't. How about that? How about that? It is a very awesome thing. And I try to explain that to younger adults. The tantalization of the body, minor. But the tantalization of the spirit, connected to the body, then enhanced by the mind. It's like a nuclear bomb went off in that room. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, and if you've never experienced what I'm talking about, you got some work to do. Honestly, after my second divorce in 48 years, I have this kind of intimacy. Yes, come on now. Well, there you go, Ellie. Like, keep it going. There you go. Let me tell you something. Here's the crazy part. The intimacy that I'm talking about doesn't require the sexual contact. The sexual contact is extra icing on an already delicious cake. It's what it leads to and what it subscribes to after. And all of a sudden, that is what bonds you. That is what says to you, I don't want anybody else to make me feel like that. Hey, Closet Talk. I don't want to be with anybody else. Nobody else is going to make me feel like this. Because I haven't never felt like this before. That is what closes you guys together. That is what emotional safety looks like. I've been preparing for that last year on my soulmate. Yes. And when you say soulmate, that's actually what it is. Thank you. You're for it. There it is, Elliot. Because joy is that next level above happiness. Many of us have never experienced joy. We've experienced severe pleasure, and it's like, oh my God. But joy, pure joy, is connected to everything. Thank you, Minister. But folks don't get that because we actually don't know how. And it's okay. This is why we have to be able to sit with professionals who can help us understand that. But we also have to do the work for self. You have to know what that feels like from self. I knew it was in me. I just didn't know how to allow myself to connect it to one person. I kept trying to give it the bits and pieces of hundreds because I was focused on the act. I wasn't focused on the emotion. When you focus on the emotion and you can control it by real cognitive focus, well, love is going to find its way in because you're connecting all three aspects: the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. Many of us don't do that because we don't consider it. Okay? Follow your intuition, stop ignoring. Yes, your intuition was given to you for a reason. It's what keeps us safe. What was that? Yeah, time to get up out of Dodge. What was that noise? Oh, time to go. I ain't got to go figure it out. I would love you. Okay, let me know, Minister. Hit me up. Hit me up. You can hit my inbox here, or my emails is in my professional links in my bio. Would love to come on. God speaks to us through intuition. Listen, when you're somewhere and you go, I need to get up out of here. Why'd you say that? Time to go. God gave us intuition, and for many of us who have a really deeper understanding, it's actually called the Holy Spirit. Because your intuition has never been wrong. And when people go, there's no such thing as perfection, they are lying because your conscience has never been wrong. Just stop. Tell me if I'm lying. I just said to myself, don't say that. I just said to myself, get my keys. I just said to myself, don't call him. I just said to myself, what am I doing? I just said to myself, I should have took myself home. I will do. I'll definitely let you know what I'm on. And that's the thing. Our conscience is our Holy Spirit, but people gave it the name conscience because if they said Holy Spirit, they would sound too spiritual, too religious. So they had to give it a generic name, conscience. No, it's your Holy Spirit telling you what to do, but we don't listen. And some of us, we don't acknowledge it until after we did what we wanted to do because that's what we wanted. Because of this, the flesh. And the flesh is powerful. That's why emotional intimacy is so much different than physical intimacy. Physical intimacy is momentary. Emotional intimacy could bond you to somebody forever. That's why you got to be careful who you allow close to you. Because some of those connections, the best thing you can ever do is just not contact them. Let me ask that question before I move on. All right? Before I go on number 6. How many of you right now have somebody in your life that you pray don't call you? Or pray don't run into you? Tell the truth. Just say me. I don't want to know who. Don't. We not summon them. We not summoning those people, so we not going to say their names. The universe listens. But how many of you have somebody right now that you go, Lord, if that woman or man run into me and on, ooh, no. And the reason why is when you talk about soul ties and the name, it gets thrown around way too much. But people don't understand the soul tie means that you allowed yourself to be so emotionally connected to somebody that you shouldn't have been. That if you were in their presence for too long, it will start to activate parts of your body and spirit that you weren't supposed to even allow them close to. So sometimes the best thing is what you just saw Sherry Ann post. Block all of them. When you see the what you doing text, don't even think about it. Just block. You see them coming up the block, turn and run the other way. Hey, where you going? I want to talk to you. Because the longer we entertain things that move us internally, before we know this, we weren't supposed to be here, right? What we doing? Why we always say what we doing after we did it? I had a guy that called me from different numbers. Exactly. Why is it that we lay next to somebody and be like, we ain't supposed to be doing this? After you did it. You wasn't saying that while you was doing it. Well, actually, some people do. I have been there. In the middle of it. We shouldn't be doing this, right? We shouldn't be doing it. Okay. Don't even let that happen. Don't even let yourself get there. It's not worth it. So when you see people and you ask, why would somebody throw away everything that they're working on? Why would somebody throw away their career? Why would somebody throw away their marriage? Why would somebody throw away their relationship with their kids? Why would somebody throw away all their money? Why would somebody throw away their life? Because some ties, if you allow the person to link with you, the tie will never disappear. So the best you can do is block them. Hey, Donna, keep them from you while you fortify yourself going forward. Now, this is what's important, and it's not on my list, but I want to share this with you. Another way that you protect yourself from soul ties is you make sure that your person in your life knows who those people are that you don't feel comfortable around because you don't want to do something stupid. They can block because they're not emotionally connected to that individual. But you got to be honest. And sadly, many of us are not until it's too late. I'm just telling you. Hey, Joy, you got to be honest. Sometimes the new person can be the defender of your heart. Girl, get behind me. You're my man. Yo, she good. Go on about your business. No, she don't want to talk to you. Who this lady, Harpo? Who this woman, Harpo? Who this woman? Sometimes the new person can be the person that keeps the gate guarded so you don't make those mistakes. That's another beautiful thing of when you've moved on to a relationship, when you're open with the person, the new person in your life. All right, let's move on. We got the last 5, the back 5. So here we go. You guys ready? Let's get some 6s in the chat. We got 12 people here, so let's go with half. Let's get 6 people that give me 6. There's 1. Thank you, Sherry Ann. And keep tapping the screen while in the meantime. Thank you, Tina. That's 2. Let me get 4 more. Thank you, Donna. And good to have you here, Donna. Thank you, lovely. That's 4, 5. JT and Fun Guy. There's 6. Oh, there we go, Joy. Appreciate you. All right, there we go, Melly. Got you. All right, here we go. Number 6. And the 10 reasons creating an emotional safe space is critical in a relationship. It promotes healing. Number 6, promotes healing. An emotional safe space promotes healing. And I'm just giving Tina a chance to put it in the chat, guys, and I will definitely explain what I mean. It promotes healing. All right. While I wait for Tina to put that in, I'm going to move forward. She can jump in as she gets there. A relationship. No, let me see. Okay. In a safe there we go. No, I'm lagging. I'm sorry, Tina, if I am. I know it gets like that because I notice it goes up. If I'm lagging, just let me know, guys, because I know sometimes it's like that. Let me make sure we're good. Let me check out mine. There we go. It's been there. Oh, okay. Gotcha. In a safe emotional space, partners can process past traumas and heal together, essentially for a healthy, forward-moving relationship. When you can be open and honest and you can create emotional space, when a person can tell you, I got out of a very traumatic relationship and I've been able, it won't let you, okay, don't worry about it. We're good. What happens is when you come to somebody and y'all are in an emotionally safe space, it allows you to continue to heal because they're going to understand the work that you did. They're going to understand what you did to heal. They're going to help you remain in that position. That's why I said to you, The new person coming to your life can assist you in the work that you've already did. Now, they can't be the healer. Let me just, don't get that twisted, guys. Please do not leave this live thinking that if I get with somebody new, they're going to help heal me. No, 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 no. Nobody can heal you until you start doing the work for you. They can help you heal. They can help you. Hey, Lucky, they can help you heal. The new person cannot heal you. You have to do the work. The person can assist you and help keep the environment safe around you. They can help aid you in whatever you're doing for you. But it is on you to heal you, but you can get assistance from your new person. They can help. They cannot be. Now, they may be a strong advocate in you. They may be a strong part of your healing. But they cannot be the focus of the healing. You have to heal you with the it takes a lot, Donna. And we talked about that before. For a narcissist to change, there's a lot of things that's got to be in place. And he has to, or she has to be getting help from multiple places, as well as they have to be super honest with it. It is very difficult for a narcissist to change without professional help, guidance, and a plan. And they have to be showing you that they're working that plan for you to be able to truly understand. But it is very hard. But unfortunately, the thing that I'm very sad about is so many people throw around that term so much on social media that most people have never actually been involved with a true narcissist. They say it because they just didn't like the way the relationship ended. So they're using the term without it being actually clinically diagnosed. And I see a ton of people saying, well, how to survive a narcissist? No, my ex-boyfriend, my ex-wife is a narcissist. And I'm like, well, did you get clinical evaluated? No. Well, how do you know? Just like depression. You know how many people are claiming depression and have never actually gotten clinically diagnosed? They just claim depression or claim that the person that they was with was a narcissist, not realizing that they may have narcissistic tendencies themselves. And it is so ridiculous that people don't understand what true narcissism is or the different categories of narcissism. And they don't even realize that borderline narcissists themselves. While yelling and screaming, thank you, Tina, I got you. While yelling and screaming about narcissist this, narcissist that, because they're angry and hurt. So I stopped trying to, I don't fight with anybody. I stopped trying to explain to people that don't want to hear, because that's, again, another narcissistic trait. You yelling about your ex being a narcissist, but at the same time not wanting to listen to a professional who's trying to help you make sense of what you just said. And then I hear the magic words of, I hear what you're saying, but I know. You know. Okay. And how long you been practicing? Practicing what? I just know what I know. You take care. You take care. I wish you well. Nothing to offer. They know. I can't fight with somebody who know it all. What am I gonna offer? I don't know much. So you leave it alone. Please understand, guys, when somebody tells you they know what they know, you don't try to pry the door open. You go, okay, cool. You leave them alone. Learn when to let people go. I so thank you. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, JT. But I don't argue with people who are closed-minded. It's a waste of my time. I offer, but when somebody says, I hear what you're saying, but I stop right there. Because I know what's going to happen. If you don't even acknowledge what I said, and you don't actually want to engage in a real conversation with the idea of trying to get help, nothing else to say. So I'm going to remove myself. Hard to even have a conversation with, oh yeah, of course. That's why they yell narcissist. It's projecting. They're actually the narcissist, but they're projecting it out because they're trying to figure out why they chose someone that was like themselves and it didn't work. And now they're mad that they chose another narcissist and invited them into the picture. And now it blew up. And so they're the narcissists. And if you need an example of what I'm talking about, just look at our former president. Everybody's evil. Everybody's a criminal. Everybody's wrong, but I am perfect. Everybody's lying. Everybody's doing something dirty. Everybody's persecuting me. But me, I am the greatest. My call was perfect. My everything was perfect. Okay. Okay. The sad part is not him. It's the people who enable him. And the one thing a narcissist will always keep around them is yes people. Whether it's because he's drilling them through the bed, or she's riding them till they sleep, or she's paying them or making money, whatever it is, the narcissist will always have yes folks around them. And and they will always have to, and yeah, they always have to be right. They cannot be wrong. And they will start to explain to you why they cannot be wrong. And they'll say, because I'm the greatest and can't nobody tell me nothing. Listen to me, guys. And I'm going to go on to the next one in a second. The minute that someone tells you that they cannot be wrong, stop right there. Leave them alone. When a person says they're infallible, we ain't going to talk about it. You, Jesus Christ. I can't tell you what you got it. You and Jesus must have these great conversations about how it's great to be perfect. I can't offer nothing to that. All right. Here we go. All right, 1 second. Let me just back up. We're on number 7. All right, so here we go. It'll be it's an end. No. It won't be no never ending. It'll end when I go. Thank you. It'll come to an end real quick, and I just walk away. I don't even nothing. That's why I don't get into back and forths online. When somebody writes out the whole long paragraph about what they don't like about I respond with okay or a smiley face. Okay. Or a smiley face. That's it. Nothing else. There's no reason. All right. So let's do number 7. All right. And we're 10 reasons why creating an emotional safe space is crucial. We're going to do number 7. So let me get 7 sevens in the chat. Come on. We're going to do number 7. Of the 10 reasons creating an emotional safe space in a relationship is crucial. Number 7. Thank you, JT. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you, Donna. That's 4 or 5. Come on, Joy. I see Melly. Thank you, fun guy. I think that's 7. Yeah, I think that's 7. Oh, there we go. Thank you, lovely lady Locks. Thank you, Rita. All right, here we go. And the 10 reasons creating an emotional safe space is critical or crucial in a relationship is that it fosters equality, guys. And I don't know if Tina's back, so somebody can throw that in the chat for me. Fosters equality. Somebody put that in the chat for me. Fosters equality. Somebody throw that in the chat for me, so everybody can have it. I like to connect the two when I'm speaking. So somebody throw that in the chat for me. Fosters equality. Thank you, Ellie. Welcome back, love. A relationship where both parties feel okay, let me start that over. A relationship where both partners feel equally safe to express themselves promotes a balanced dynamic where neither partner dominates the other. Let me read that again because I really want you to take that in because it's important. I'm explaining in a second. A relationship where both partners feel equally safe to express themselves promotes a balanced dynamic where neither partner dominates the other. Lord, when I tell you the mutuality that comes from being equally yoked, you literally are not trying to take over the other one. You're trying to see your partner move as you move. Now, let me ask you guys in chat. How many of you have been in, and I know you're going to say me, but I'm going to ask anyway. How many of you have been in lopsided relationships where you were being dominated by the person that you were with, or the person was trying to dominate you because they just didn't want to come off of their position? Put me in the chat if you've been with that type of person. I got you, Melly. I see you, JT. How many of you have been with that person who just wanted to, that just didn't even let you your ideas just wasn't even talk. We can't even talk about it. We're not even going to have a conversation about that. Or they just was right. There was nothing to talk about because I know. Thank you, Lucky. I got you, Tina. We're talking about fosters equality. Number 7. I got you. And it's important, guys, when you're in that lopsided type relationship, it is an issue. Now I'm going to ask the bigger question. Then I left. I got you, Sherry Ann. Now I'm going to ask you the bigger question. How many of you were that dominant person? No, fosters equality. I'm sorry, Tina. Fosters equality. How many of you were that dominant person that really didn't let your partner be them in the relationship? How many of you kind of smothered your partner being you to the negative? Be honest with me. Come on now. All of us couldn't have been the victim. Some of us had to be the aggressor. Thank you, Donna. How many of us was the dominant one? The one that was just, it's going to be my way. I don't care what you're talking about. I hear what you're saying, but this going to be the way I want. I don't like being dominant. That's okay. I appreciate you. It's been me before. Thank you, Melly. And the reason why I asked that question is we do have to look at it from both sides, guys. It's easy sometimes to just look at what was done to us, but we also have to look at what did we do to others, sometimes because of what was done to us or just how we've been. Some of us don't even know that we're on autopilot every time we meet somebody. I'm going to take a minute with that. Some of us don't know that we're on autopilot every time we meet somebody and then wonder why the same demons keep showing up. It's been before, after a relationship where I was dominated. I got you. I've tried to understand why people cheat. Donna, people cheat for thousands of reasons. So trying to figure out why somebody does something negative, don't worry about it. What you have to think about is how you react to what was done to you. Because, and that's the one thing, like when I hear people searching for closure, a person may not explain to you because they may not know why they cheat. That's what I'm just talking about. Some people are on autopilot. Some people are going to cheat just because they can. Some people are going to cheat because they feel they're deprived of something. And some people are going to cheat because they've been abused and they don't know how to not abuse somebody else. I ask God why I get the same person because there you go. Come on, Sherry. That's a big one. That's a big one. That's a big one. I don't worry about it because people will be, thank you. You cannot see, if we try to figure out why, only why if y'all trying to fix it. My reaction formation is that type, that person, way of concealing their inadequacies, possibly. Relationships are lessons or blessings, yes. See, here's the thing with cheating, right? You can recover from cheating, but the person who did the cheating has to be as open as possible to make it make sense. And Donna, this goes to you. If you and a person are going to recover from cheating, the person cheating, and I'm telling you from personal experience, the person who is cheating, for this to work, has to lay themselves out bare, make sure it makes sense why they did it, who they did it with, when they did it. You got to give up all the information so the person that is going to decide whether they want to be with you or not, then you also have to explain how you're going to get help, and you have to make sure that the help that you are getting is obvious. Now, some of you are going to say, I'm not doing all that damn work, and I get it. And you are 100% right if you do not want to do the work. What I am telling you is that you can overcome infidelity, but it is not for everybody. My wife and I talk about it all the time. We may have overcome it, but we know that the average person, no. And you don't have to. I don't care how much they cry. No. And a lot of times when I'm talking to a person, they're crying, oh, I can't. Stop. Were you crying like that when you was up in it? Were you crying like that when you was riding it? Now, let's figure out what you're going to do. Did you tell them everything? What? Did you tell them everything? What are you talking about? Did you share with your partner everything? No, why would I tell them that? Then you're not trying to fix it. You're not trying to fix it. If you're not willing to give it all up to fix it, then how we going to get, because that person has to heal. You the cheater? You crazy. Nah, I ain't doing that. You want me to tell her everything? Tell her everything, because it's on her. Tell them everything. It's on him to decide if they want to stay with you. You can't try to get them to stay with you after you did them dirty because you don't want to hurt because of what you did. Stop that foolishness. And if they walk away, okay, you threw it away the minute you jumped on top of somebody else, the minute that you went to that person's house, the minute your clothes fell off. It was a mistake. No, you got caught. Because, JT, people don't want the return pain. We have no problem causing pain. Nobody wants the return pain, JT. That's why it's hard for people to be transparent. The one thing that helps me to stay evenly in all the things that I do and not return to the man I used to be, I let folks know what I used to be. That's why I wrote my book. That's why I put all my dirt out there. By being transparent. Also, I believe that if I was to go back down certain roads, I think God would destroy me. I brought you from all that and you went back. Oh, it's on. I don't want that smoke. That's where my spiritual positioning helps me as well. But people aren't transparent because nobody wants to hurt. I was willing to accept the hurt. I had to get professional help, but God had sent me somebody who was stronger than I was at that moment. I had to regain my position for her to trust me. And you can't do that by trying to hold on to dirt. I wasn't always a man of integrity, JT. I had to grow into. I had the skills of a man of integrity. I didn't know how to put them at the forefront. And I think it was Sherry Ann just said, I had to change my mindset. I now serve God and not myself. My nature is still smooth. My nature is, I'm always going to be a ladies' man. Except my mindset is I serve God now. So I don't want anything from women. Before, I wanted everything, your soul included. That changes when your mindset changes, your nature fuels a different aspect of yourself. Our nature is our nature. Who we are is who we are. Who you serve changes. And a lot of people don't understand that. Who you choose to serve dictates what you do. Your nature is your flair, your style, the thing that makes you who you are. If you're a respectful person, are you able to? Yes, you can. Anything lost can be recovered if the work is done, but it's very difficult, Tina. And it all depends on how they lost your respect. Anything is recoverable. God can fix anything. The question is if you're willing to go through that flame for the outcome. Not everybody is willing to do that. But there are too many people who don't. Of course, it has to be that way, JT. If we didn't have the evil in the world, we wouldn't need God. That's the balance. That's the fight. You have to decide which of the pendulum you want to be on. Many of us will be on the negative for a while and we'll swing over to the other side. Some folks will start off great and swing to the other side. Life is a continuum. And a continuum is a thing that is continually moving back and forth. Not a pendulum, because a pendulum swings back and forth. A continuum is we move at different places at different points on the continuum. Some of us are in a constant state of good, so we stay to the one side of the continuum. Some of us swing back and forth. And some of us for a good season will be on the negative side of the continuum. And then some of us are kind of caught in the middle where we're doing some things we're not supposed to, but doing some things that are righteous. Everybody's different. I'm so happy for your live, I think. And I appreciate you. All right, so let's get through this. I learned that I am too valuable to stay with a cheater. I choose me always. Well, you can still choose you and you can still be valuable and stay with the cheater. It all depends on if the cheater has earned the right to even be near you, Sherry Ann. So I understand the positioning, and that's okay. I agree with it. The cheater has to earn that position back from you. If they have not earned it, there's no reason for you to even consider it. So you not wanting to deal with it is cool. The cheater is the one that has to do the work to be able to even get you to consider it. If they haven't done it, then you do what you got to do. I don't advise anybody to stay with anybody who's cheated until the cheater has done the work. And work is always noticeable. Boaz saw Ruth through the work that Ruth was doing. Work is always noticeable. If you were in the gym doing what you're supposed to, your body will change. If you're in school doing the things you're supposed to, you will graduate. If you do the work, the results will show themselves. You don't have to tell me anything if you're doing the work. You can show me the product. I'm just saying. Even if you in the streets, you can't say you the greatest drug dealer that ever lived and you ain't making no money. The work is always visible. Simply put. And I tell people all the time, they go, Keith, well, how would I know if I should take her back? How should I know if I take him back? What did they present to you? What was the work? What was the outcome of the work? What do you mean? Did they tell you who their counselor is? Did they show you what they've been doing? Did they show you if they're going to NA, SA, GA? Did they show you that they moved? Did they show you what are they showing you? Not what they're telling you. Words are easy. Pimps use great words. It is the outcomes. I'm just saying. All right, here we go. Let's get through these last three because I do got to jump off. Keep tapping the screen. We're almost at 25K. Let's go. If it walks heels and talks heels, thank you. Come on. Sherry Ann, that's so important what you just said because if I show up, let me tell you what healed looks like, ladies and gentlemen. Someone who has hurt you, right? When they show up and want to get your attention, here's what the first thing they're going to say. Do you have a few minutes? Can I talk to you? I know I hurt you. I know you have no reason to speak to me. And I know, can I talk to you? May I present to you that I'm different? They're going to show up with something to offer, not just talk. But first, they got to get permission from you to even engage you. So let's say you go, okay, come on, talk. What do you want to talk about? I know when we were together, I did you wrong. I know I cheated on you. I know I messed with your friend, and I know I messed with that chick at the job. I did all, and you did. I know I did all of that. And I was sneaking out here and doing a lot of things I shouldn't have been done, and I probably did a lot more that you didn't even know about, and I apologize for that. But since then, I've done this, and I can show you that. And I've gotten help. My counselor is over on church, and I'm a member of a new church now, and I have new surroundings. And what I would like to do is be able to invite you to a service, or I would like to be able to just to show you what I'm doing, because I know I can't come to you as I was. But I'm hoping that if we can just talk, if we can just become friends again, so I can show you that I'm different, I would like to be able to earn your trust back, if that's possible. Now, this is where your spirit, your conscience, the inside of you will be able to go, that's different. That's different. Let me see. And then as they're showing you that the things that they're saying are matching what they're doing, then it goes back to the other things on the list. Look at number 1, enhance communication. Look at number 3, supports emotional health. Look at number 4, encourages growth. All those things. The list connects to itself. My list never just stands by itself. All of it is connected. All right, so come on, let's get through 8, 9, and 10, because I do got to get out of here. I got a counseling session later on today. And I got a father-daughter's dance too later on this evening. All right, so remaining healed is, oh yes, listen, it's like recovering addicts. You every day, one day at a time. And also, Sherry Ann, and to everybody else, they cannot be going to and talking to and be connected to the things that hurt you and trying to get you to accept it. No. True change means that they realized how devastating that was to you and they removed it. I don't go to those parties anymore. I don't hang out with those people anymore. I don't even talk to that chick no more, boo. I realized what I lost in you. I cut her loose and I don't even know. Here, you can check my phone. I'm going to leave my phone open so you can see it. I blocked everybody that I thought was going to create a problem between you and I. Those are actions. Those are receipts. If they don't show up with receipts, slam the door. Get off the phone. Block them. If there's no receipts, there's no attention. They don't offer receipts. You don't offer no attention. All right, let's go. Let's go to number 8. We're going to finish up 8, 9, and 10. Here we go. So let's go to number 8. On the 10 reasons creating an emotional safe space is crucial to relationships. First, follow Sherry Ann's lead with number 8. Thank you, JT. Thank you, Sherry Ann. That's 2. Let me get 8 8s. Come on, we got 11 people here. Let's get 8 8s. There's 2. Let me get a few more. Come on, let's go. Where's everybody at? Come on today. Everybody went to sleep on me there? Oh, I'm healing. I love you. Sorry for her number. There you go. Thank you, guys. Here they go. There you go, Lady T. Fun Guy, Joy, Donna. Come on, here we go. All right, so number 8. Number 8. In the 10 reasons creating an emotional safe space is crucial in a relationship, it improves conflict resolution. Number 8, improves conflict resolution. I'll wait for Tina to put that in the chat. But if not, somebody else can put it in the chat for me as well. I appreciate you. Improves conflict resolution. Number 8. Improves conflict resolution. All right? And somebody can put that in the chat for me until Tina gets a chance to. And this is important. Now, these last 3 are super important. So we're going to wrap this up and bring this home for everybody. It might be. It's okay. And I don't know why it's not. You might need to log out, Tina, and come back in. See if that happens. Log out and come back in. That will sometimes change the connection. So somebody throw that in the chat for Tina because I can't see it. She's having a little issues. So there you go. Come on back in. And it's number 8. Improves conflict resolution. I just seen you come back in, Tina. When there's a safety foundation, is this a list of 10 going to be? Yes, it always is. And on every one of my videos, Sherry Ann, the list is in the description as well. So you'll be able to copy it and use it in your conversations with other people as well. So yes, I think in the last 15 videos or something like that, I made sure that the list is inside the descriptions. When there's a safety foundation, conflicts can be resolved constructively with less risk of lasting harm or resentment. And this is what you and we were talking about, Sherry Ann, is that when there's a safety foundation, conflicts can be resolved constructively. And we don't risk as much when we have a solid conflict resolution base. Like, we know we don't like arguing, so we don't let the problem fester. Like, my wife and I don't argue, really. And our argument is funny. She just won't talk to me for like 4 or 5 hours or a day. Nothing really more than a day. And me personally, I don't like when she don't talk to me. So after a couple of hours, and let me show you how we make up. This is funny. I'm sitting right here in the office, right? If my wife is wrong, when she acknowledges that she's wrong, she will come in here and kiss me on my forehead, right? I'll be sitting here just like this. And I'm not saying nothing because I'm in the mood. She will kiss me on my forehead and be like, you want anything? You hungry? You want something before I lay down? Now, I could be a child and be like, no. I'll say, and I always do it. I say, could you give me something to drink? And she'll go get me some juice or something like that. And then she'll come back, she'll give me another kiss. And she'll say, I'm going to bed now. I'm like, all right, babe. That's an apology. That's our apology. Now, for me, when I'm the wrong, and she, like, my office is on the other side of the house. So she'll be in the bedroom. When I'm wrong, I'll go sit on the bed and she'll watch TV and she won't make eye contact, right? She'll just be looking at the TV. So I'll sit down on the edge of the bed. Now, here's what's funny is she'll put her feet on my lap for me to rub her feet. And I'll rub her feet and go, you know I'm sorry, right? And she'll laugh. She'll laugh. No, it's okay. I got you, Tina. She'll laugh and I rub her feet. And I go, I'm sorry. And she's like, okay. And that's it. We're good. And we go right back to it. We don't no super drawn out, because the relationship is bigger than any fight. And the relationship is worth more than any argument. And we deal with it. Even if it troubles us, we deal with it because we got a child that we don't want absorbing negative energy. My daughter doesn't know how to react when she sees one of us emotional. She really doesn't, because we don't fight or argue. She literally doesn't know what to do if one of us is upset, or if both of us is upset about something. Yes, apologies have to, and they have to be in forms that are connected to you, Sherry Ann. Everybody has to have their form of apology and their form of acceptance that works for you. And don't let somebody tell you, yo, he need to stop, or she need to stop that. Stop letting people pour foolishness into you. What works for you and your partner works for you and your partner. Don't let somebody else pour no trash into your situation, because they'll be the person you sitting with when it blow up. Damn, girl, how you mess your relationship up? Damn, dude, it's over. You help pour the gas on it. Well, you shouldn't have listened to me. You know I ain't got no man. What you listen to me for? You know I ain't got no woman. When you start to realize who you listening to, you want to kick your own butt. All right, let's get these last two out. Let me get these last two out. Here we go. So let me ask you guys a question. Real quick, without getting too freaky. What is your apology method? Like, what do you do to apologize? And don't say get butt naked. No, because I know some people apologize like that too. That's the OJs. Last night, me and my woman cried, and then we made... No, anyway, y'all know. Y'all know what Eddie Levert was singing. But put it in the chat. What's your form of apology? I say I'm wrong and why. Okay, Sherry, I got you. And if it's quirky, put it in the chat as well. What's your style of apology? Let me see what y'all do. Sherry Ann says, I say I'm wrong. A woman says, okay, yeah, there we go. That's not hard, Sherry Ann. You gotta bite your lip first, be like, you know I'm wrong, right? Anybody else, what's your form of apology? Put it in the chat. No, always been transparent. I love it. I apologize and give him a hug. Oh, physical contact. Okay. You're going to say I'm wrong and then give him a... Okay. Yes, breast on the back, breast on the chest and breast on the back will always help with an apology. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's hard to stay upset when somebody hug you and it's like, oh, why she hugging me? I want to be mad. Okay, I'm not. Hug, get close, kiss on. Okay, another one, physical contact. See, y'all, that's not fair though. Touching does help the apology, but oh my gosh, the makeup. Well, I said I'm not gonna talk about that, but the makeup energy. Just put on the OJs last night. It does everything. You ain't got to say nothing else. Eddie Levert will walk you through it. We cried. Put on the OJs. We cried. You're good to go. Eddie Levert will walk you through it. Touching makes it. Yes, that's true. Physical contact is a great way to extend the apology. There you go, Tina. If you out here hugging on your apologies, I know you would like that song. But touching is a great way to activate the physical when offering the emotional and spiritual apology. The three are connected. Remember, the physical, the mental is the way that you think, emotional is the way that you feel, but they're in the same class. Mental, emotional, and then the spiritual. When we can activate on all three of those levels, the apology can hit fertile ground more than just one or the other. If you can get all three, if you can physically engage with somebody, if you can stimulate their mind and their emotions, and if you can spiritually bring it from a place of realness, you have a great chance for your apology to hit solid ground. Okay? So we got a lot of folks in here touching when they apologize. We're the men in the group. Fellas, what do y'all do? Because ladies don't be wanting us to touch them. So fellas, what do y'all do? See, I got to rub feet, man. I got to rub my way in. I'm out here rubbing feet when I say I'm sorry. It's okay. I don't even get upset no more. Actually, anytime I go to sit down in the bedroom, she put her feet up. I'm like, I ain't come in for that. She said, rub my feet. I'm like, all right. So if I don't feel like rubbing feet, I ain't sitting on the edge of the bed. I might just go straight to the bathroom. But if I sit down on the edge of that bed, I gotta rub feet. It's just what it is. And she can be under the covers and everything. And I see her, I see her getting ready to pull out from under the covers, and I'm like, all right, I'm already caught. I can't get away. I need to change the habit with apologies. No doubt. And it's supposed to, Sherry Ann. Joy, you laughing at me, Joy? I know you ain't laughing at me, Joy. When you told us you that chick, Joy said, I ain't got time for them games. The cape rolled down. I got an apology for you. Lay back. I'm gonna show you how sorry I am. If y'all wasn't here that week when Joy said, nah, I'm that chick. She said, I put my cape on. I'll show you an apology. You about to see how sorry I am. All right. Let's finish these last two, guys. Here we go. Number 9 and 10. So y'all ready for number 9? I keep them confused. No, Joy, Joy, that's not the way to apologize. You dazzling them. Joey got him out here going, what was I mad at? Exactly. Let me put this cape away until later. Now you go ahead and get some sleep. Joey out here dazzling him. What was I mad about? Nothing. Go to sleep. All right, let me get a couple more 9s. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, Joy. I'm not sure. Thank you, JT. Let me get 3 more 9s, guys. I keep them confused. I don't know, Joy. That's on the fence right there, because that could be a stall tactic too. You don't really want to apologize, but you just dazzle them. The lights, oh, baby, yeah. Don't worry about it. I said I was sorry. I don't know, Joy. That's on the fence. All right, so let's go with the 9s. Thank you, Nora. Thank you, JT. Joy ain't playing. I tell you the other day when she said, I know what to do. Joy said, I ain't got time to be playing no games. She bring the cape out. The cape rolled down and garters pop up. Where those come from? Shh, don't say nothing. I got you. Okay. Number 9. Y'all got. I ain't messing with y'all today. Number 9, right? Here we go. Number 9. In the 10 reasons creating an emotional safe space is crucial in a relationship. Number 9, it strengthens the commitment, guys. Strengthens the commitment. Number 9, strengthens the commitment. And again, I'm going to give Tina a chance to put that in the chat. Number 9, strengthens the commitment. All right. Thank you, Tina. Feeling emotionally secure with one another reinforces commitment, as both partners are most likely to feel valued and understood. Your commitment grows when there is an emotionally safe bond. Like, I couldn't picture myself without my wife. And so I empathize with every one of the people in this chat, as well as that are connected to me who have lost a spouse. I automatically practice empathy because I think of what I would do, and not that I hope to be in that situation. So I understand every time I see a pain post or a disappointment post, because I know it's not something that we can control at all, but we are forced to deal with it all. And so at this stage in my life, I try to enjoy all the time I can with my wife, and because I don't know how long God is going to give her to me, or how long God is going to take me, or whatever. So the idea is, when I talk to other people, it heightens what I have, so it helps me build my commitment and to stay true to it, because I don't want to start over, guys. If I had to, yes. If I have to, I ain't got no choice. But if I have a say-so in it, I'm going to do what I can. And I know for a fact, some of the men that I work with don't do as well as the women who have recovered. Women seem to recover better. Some of the men later on in life, they don't recover. And I think that's part of the reason why women outlive men, because as they get older, they get more mature. Some of us men, we just don't, because a lot of the stress that we took in. So true, I love my husband with every beat. Okay, I got you, Joy. I ain't mad at you. I seen your pictures, Joy, by the way. Shout out to you. And I think that's what we have to understand. Enjoy your time. Keep tapping that screen, guys. We're almost at 25K. Keep going. It's important, because the commitment, the strengthening of, anytime you get a chance to strengthen the commitment you have with somebody, take it. Every day that you can build on something, especially when you're older, because we all know, and I'm 56, what it's like to lose somebody. Whether it's the person, your significant other, mother, father, whatever, or friends, we have outlived members of our family. And the older we get, that's the thing that's going to happen more regularly. So you got to build that commitment as strong as it can be, because there'll come a time when you cannot. I don't want to get any deeper than that, because I don't want to trigger anybody to the negative. But when you create an emotionally safe space for somebody, it bonds you. And that commitment becomes stronger. And you don't want that with anybody else. I know I don't. I don't really think anybody can give me what my wife gives me right now, because it would take years. We've been together 24 years. We've been married 17. I don't know if I have enough years to get to here with somebody else if I had to start over. But I understand it, and I'm here to help anybody else that's going through that. That's why I chose the age group 45 to 70. I work with people over that. My husband is the apple of my eye. May 9th will be 15. Congrats. Let's go. I advocate marriage to everybody, because it's just something beautiful about being with somebody that you can be just yourself. I act so stupid sometimes when I'm around my wife that she starts getting laughing. She goes, "Will you stop?" But I'm like, nope. Because she loves it and gets a kick out. But she's like, "You will get us in trouble. Let it happen." This is what it is. All right. I'll give you an example. All right. My wife and I were playing on the phone yesterday, right? I was coming home from the after-school program. We were joking and laughing, right? And her mother is no longer here. My mother is no longer here. So she said something. I said, "I ain't trying to hear that. Tell it to your mother and my mother." Now, let me tell you why I said it that way. I didn't want to say it to your mom, and her mom's no longer here, and maybe trigger a negative feeling. So I said, tell it to your mom and my mom. I ain't trying to hear all that. And she said, I ain't messing with you. You crazy. But I was understanding of her situation, and just saying her mom might have triggered her to the negative. So I added my mom too, so it comes off as goofy. I'm always considerate of the people that I care about, but I'm also considerate of people I don't know. But you have to be considerate of the person that you love. So when you joke and laugh, always remember, jokes don't always find their level. But at the end of the day, when a person is comfortable with you and you have a great connection with you, then they know where you were coming from with it. Speak what you want. I want longevity. I am saying, oh yeah, listen, you better get that. Speak that into existence. Hell yeah. I talk about that all the time. I'm trying to, and I joke about it. I tell my wife, I said, even if I'm old and peeing on everything, you better rock out with me. She's like, yeah. Actually, I have a video where we was in a podcast, and my wife, we have what my wife says, the wipe your butt thing. She said, I had to ask myself, would I be willing to wipe his butt if something happened to him? She said, yes, that's how I know he's the one for me. And that's what she says. If you're able to, in your mind, go, if something happened, could I wipe his butt or her butt? Yes. Then you have the person, because you may have to. You may have to. You may be with somebody and the Lord puts them in a stricken situation. You're going to leave them down. Or as Job said, we only love the Lord in the good times. So those words of till death do us part, in sickness and in health, did you utter those? Did you say that in the face of God? Did you mean it? Keep tapping the screen. We're almost at 25K, guys. Let's get to 25K. Keep tapping that screen. Come on. Let's go on a little run and get it over 25. I knew we would get there. All right, let's go to the last one, because I'm going to start winding this up, because I got to get ready to go today. I got to travel out. It's going to take me about a half an hour to where I got to go. All right. So thank you, Tina. Number 10. Here we go. Tina on point. I love working with you and Ellie. All right, here we go. It's real. Those vows are real. And remember, you make them to God. You're not making them to the people watching. They are witnesses. Those are vows you make to each other and the vows you make to God. I see you, Sherry Ann. Come on, JT. Thank you, Joy. Let me get 4 more 10s. Come on, let's go. And we're going to finish out this last one. And I think it's been a pretty good list today. And I really love the interaction with you guys today. I always do. I look forward to Friday. Whatever I might be dealing with, I'm able to put my mind to ease when I'm on here. It allows me to do what I do. And I've been in some real deep thought. But let's go. Number 10. Thank you, fun guy. Thank you, Joy. All right, here we go. Number 10. Of the 10 reasons to create an emotional space, why creating emotional space is critical in a relationship, it supports mutual support. I'm going to break that down in a second. But number 10, supports mutual support. And I will explain what that means in a second. Supports mutual support. In an emotional safe space, it supports mutual support. I'm just giving Tina a chance to put it in the chat, and I'll explain it. And I know she's been having some issues, so if somebody want to just throw that in the chat for Tina, we're good. Thank you. We're over 25K. We made the goal. Keep going. Let's see if we can get to 30 in a short time. Number 10, in a safe emotional space, partners can support each other, provide encouragement, and assist during tough times. When you have an emotionally safe space, you can literally become each other's support through anything. You can fight against anything. You can go back to back and protect each other, or stand shoulder to shoulder. Let it come. It supports a mutual support. You literally see yourself, let's go, I got you, you got me, let's go. Supports mutual support. In a safe emotional space, partners can support each other, providing encouragement and assistance during tough times. Now, with this whole list here, it is all connected. No one is greater than the other because they're all needed, but you may fall at different places on here. But the biggest question to yourself is, do I have, or do I know how to create an emotional safe space when I'm in a relationship, or in my current relationship, or when I get a relationship? Whatever position that you're in, it is necessary. So I'm going to run down, is anyone that's missing any particular one? I'm going to run down all 10 real quick, and then I'll answer any questions for a couple minutes before I jump off, because I do got to get ready to get off. So let me go through the list. The 10 reasons creating an emotional safe space is critical in a relationship. Here they go. I'm going to go 1 through 10 so you can check your list. It will be over on YouTube when I do the replay. It will be in the description if you want a copy for yourself. Number 1. Enhances communication. Number 2, builds trust. Number 3, supports emotional health. Number 4, encourages growth. Number 5, deepens intimacy. Number 6, promotes healing. Number 7, fosters equality. Number 8, improves conflict resolution. Number 9, strengthens commitment. And number 10, supports mutual support. I am a Sagittarius, 12/20/1967. Gen X. Borderline boomer. Sagittarius, outgoing fire sign if you believe in astrology. I don't. Because I've looked at all the... Oh, that's my son, he's 23? Okay, nice. Congrats. I look at all the zodiac and realize I'm all of them at different times. So, but, that's what they say I am. If you believe in it, I ain't mad at you, but I happen to know with a blue turquoise birthstone. I used to hate that color stone too. I grew into liking that color. So I got a couple minutes. I got about 5, maybe 10 minutes before I get ready to get out of here. So I'll answer any questions that you have. Or if you just want to give me some feedback about today's show, keep tapping the screen. Let's try to end up at over 30K before we jump off today. So if you have any questions, or if anything, you can go to my links in my bio. My most recent book right here, 12 Steps to Recovering from a Toxic Relationship. Sure, Tina, go ahead. What's your question? Is in my bio. What's up, Tina? All of my books are on my website. And also, get the books from my website. If you buy it from Amazon, cool. But if you get it from my website, because Jeff Bezos takes 55% off the top when we authors put our books on Amazon. So he gets more money than the author. And I know many of y'all don't know that. That's why Amazon gives you such a discounted price. They actually... I said I would never marry again because I would lose out on my husband's Social Security. Okay. That's not the sole reason. Okay. So what is the reason behind the facade that you put out there? Well, the partial that you put out there. Also, all of my books. Here's another one. All of my books on my website. But am I wrong for telling the men that? You didn't have to tell them. You could have said right now, a lot of things got to fall into position for me to consider marriage. Don't tell a person that you're not married and for money. That's something that you can keep to yourself. One of the things that you can do is just say, you know what, for me to consider marriage, a lot of things got to fall into place because there's a lot of things right now that cover me the way. No, you can still be listen, being transparent doesn't mean I got to say everything. There's still a balance, and there's still a matter of being discreet. I can be transparent and discreet at the same time because your reasoning doesn't need to be expressed if I'm telling a person I'm just not ready at the moment. And if it has nothing to do with them, unless a person says, well, what are those things? Well, financially, one thing, I want to be comfortably financially, or I want to make sure I was with them. Okay. And that's another thing too, is you got to be ready. So all your reasonings is fine. We don't have to discuss it unless you're really thinking about marriage, because then that may be something that you have to let go. But if financially y'all can't replace what you would get from that, that's a conversation. But it's a conversation that's going to be held not in a vacuum, but with everything else that's going to be part of what they're bringing, what you're bringing, and what that's going to look going forward. So you're not keeping it from them. You just don't need to present it now unless y'all are really thinking marriage, because then you want to cover every aspect. And if that amount of money can't be replaced, this is a conversation, because y'all may decide, if you're going to let it go, that we're going to be able to deal with this struggle. And that struggle, thank you so much, we're over 30K. The struggle may be the thing that we need to get into, but you got to get into that struggle together and understand it's going to be a struggle. But again, if the marriage is what you want. So these are all conversations that need to be had openly once you've gotten to that point. And I hope that answers your question. Anybody else? I got a few more minutes before I go. And all my links, all my books. And if you're interested in a one-on-one, a free discovery call, go to my link. You'll see where it says free discovery call. This is just some of my books here. Where's my poetry book? Oh, there we go. There's another one. There's my poetry book right there. So again, these are just 5 of my books here, but I've been a part of a bunch of others. So when you go to my publishing website, you'll see all my other books. Any other questions before I get off? And again, I want to thank all of you. I want to thank you, Tina, Lady P. I want to thank you, Sherry Ann. I really enjoyed. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Fun Guy. Thank you, JT. All right. Thank you, Ellie, for being here. Melly was here. Thank you, Nora. Thank you, JT. Appreciate you. Let's see. Who else did I miss? Thank you, Donna. Got you. Thank you, Minister. Minister was here, I remember earlier. Got you. Let's go back through. I want to make sure I get everybody. And if I miss anybody, I apologize if you're still here and I miss you. But let me just go back through. Thank you, Melly. Yeah. Let's see. I think that was... Oh, no. I got Rita. Thank you, lovely Lady Locks. Almost forgot my girl. There we go. Got Rita, too. Gotcha. And anybody else, if I can? Oh, I appreciate you. I hope that you come back. I'm glad that you enjoy it. Let folks know I'm here every Friday, 11:30, God willing. And if I'm not, I normally post it on my page, no show. But definitely appreciate you. Hey, before we go, everybody, stop where they are. I got 2 of the greatest moderators in the world in here, Ellie and Tina. Please give them a bunch of purple hearts for both of them because, again, these ladies do it for free. They did not know me, and they stepped in and said I would gladly help moderate. And when Ellie wasn't able to do it, Tina picked up the baton. God sent me 2 wonderful people to help me. Let's give them purple hearts to say thank you for what they do. I believe in giving people their flowers while they're here to enjoy them. They let me do and help me do what I do, and I thank them for what they do. They're 2 wonderful moderators. And like I said, if I can get out to California, I'm going to get out to say hi to my girl Tina, because again, the opportunity to be in somebody's presence, don't neglect that. Don't let social media keep you from that. Thank you, Lane. There you go. Don't let social media get you to the point that you forget to be in the presence of somebody when you can. In a safe space, too. Don't be out here doing nothing crazy. I met Ellie at a Chick-fil-A. I was like, I don't know. I don't want to get offed. I had called my wife, too. I said, I'm going over to Chick-fil-A. If you don't hear from me. Ellie got me. But Ellie showed up with her kids just in case I was crazy. Like, it was like, kids, listen, if he act up, son was watching from the side like, her little girl was like, I got him, mommy, under the table. I'm going to stab him in his knee. Have a great weekend, Ellie. Ellie's kids was like, yeah, we like him, but it's late. Can we go? Yo, he cool. We got to go. We tired. But it was great. It was great to meet. Ellie's kids was wonderful. Ellie was wonderful. She's from New York like I was. Yeah, you was prepared to. Now, let me have to put this heat on. Trust me, I remember what you said. You ain't gonna pop me in no Chick-fil-A. That's why I was like, we gonna meet in public. You have a New York flashback, like, oh, he look like somebody I knew. Pop. Oh, I'm not him. And anybody tell me they from New York, I gotta be like, you might be somebody's cousin, somebody's sister. You remember my sister? No. Yeah. Oh, no. Trust me, I remember. That's why I said public. I told my wife, I'll call you back after I leave Chick-fil-A. This is who I was supposed to sit down and talk with. But no. But when you get the chance, try to be in the presence of somebody. And I'm going to tell you what it does. It changes the dynamic of when you see their screen name. It changes the dynamic. It actually helps you to build a better connection with somebody that you may talk to on a regular. And Elia is one of the original moderator of the group. It just gave me a better connection because I knew her to be a quality person from the meet. And these are the things that you want to do. Now, you never know what anybody is, but at least if you had an opportunity to be in their presence, you can now allow your spirit to be discerning And you could just tell, and you can tell by the way her children responded, that you can just see. And as an educator, I know when I'm in the presence of kids who parents don't get it. 24 plus years, and then these extra 6 years, 30 years I've been around kids. Trust me, I know when I'm in the presence of a parent who don't have those skills. That wasn't the case. And even though her son was playing on his phone, he was like, you keep your hands where I can see them, bro. But they were very respectful. And you could just tell, and that's always a blessing. No, thank you, Ellie. I appreciate you, and I think everything that you do. And Tina, thank you for picking up where Ellie left off, and I appreciate you both. And I love coming on Fridays. I love what I do. It gets hard, and like I said, I was ready to quit. I was ready just to let it all go. But I've had to sit down, and I'm still trying to make some changes. I got some things, and yes, I am working on the private group. And if somehow they shut all this down over here on TikTok, I have my Instagram, his Facebook page, and I'm active on my Facebook page. But I am creating the private environment, and there will be an invite for folks to come, and we will have a space that's ours, where folks can come and be able to interact with each other. And folks will be vetted, so we won't have weirdos just roaming around in the group. That won't be there, but it'll be a virtual space that has multiple things that are available to you. I'm just working on creating it so it'll be of value to the people that connect with me. And I want it to be an extension of who I am, because I want it to mirror what I am. No, not Patreon. I'm creating a Go Brunch virtual group that will have virtual opportunities to chat. We'll do a weekly get together and things of like that. I'm putting stuff together to be able to have rooms that have an opportunity to meditate, to pray, a room to learn, and where the videos will have links if you want to go watch the videos. A gathering, we get together, or if you're just there and want to chat with other folks that's there without all the particulars. Because with the new changes to TikTok's I guess their law and order, they're literally going to make it very difficult, and they're going to deem if your work is of quality. And I don't want anybody now telling me I can't talk. Your personality so good thing. I smile. Thank you, Donna, and thank you, Sherry. I don't want anybody's social media's algorithm telling me I said something that was inappropriate when I know I don't. And I had a medical conversation once, and I got banned for 2 weeks when all I did was give medically sound advice. And when I put in the argument, they still said no. And at that point, I realized I need to find a space that's my own. I'm not a big fan of social media anyway. I do it because that's where the people are. But I'm trying to create my own space. But I'm learning how to do it, because I could pay somebody to do it for me. But if you pay somebody to do it for me and they leave, then you're stuck not knowing what to do. So I'm literally teaching myself the language so I can create my own space and design it. Now, if I want to pay somebody to design it, that's different. But I definitely want to have things in place so you can come away with saying, this is why I'm even here. It'll probably be fee based. It'll be very reasonable. But again, that's to keep folks out, because I don't want folks just to be able to come in free, because I don't want anybody feeling that they got to be on guard against whoever's in here looky-loos and wanting to take whatever people say. No, I want a safe space, just like a regular office. When you come in, you're not there just to hang out. And that's what I'm creating. And of course, there's a small fee, but I'm a professional, and I'll always be professional. And the hope is to create a community and grow a community where people can actually start to help each other heal, and I can be at the center of it. But that's the dream anyway. But like I said, we'll figure it out. But again, I'm going to get ready to go. I got a couple minutes before I get out. I got to drive to my 2:30. I want to say to all of you, thank you. I really do enjoy coming on Friday. You guys help me. I know some of you have become clients now, where you actually work with me. I don't put out names, so I'm never going to say who is actually working with me, who pops in or pops out. But this is what I do professionally. I work for myself. I'm a man of God, and Lord knows I've been praying hard the last month and a half. So I'm going to see where God is taking me and what he wants me to do. And I'm just going to be open to receive whatever message that he has for me. But I know some sacrifices are necessary. But I'm trying. I just feel like with all the noise that's out here on social media, somebody's got to sit over to the side and say, come over and let's talk. and be real about it and not want something. No, thank you, Sherry. And Sherry, thank you, because I love when there's somebody else like yourself and Tina and lovely lady, all of you, who, when you interact with me, I love intellectual conversation, and I love when I can have a back and forth with all of you. And I really appreciate you co-signing to the things that I say, because that helps too, because I don't want it to feel like it's only me. But I don't open the box because I don't want it to spiral down into something foolish. I want you and everybody else here to come away with something that can help you. I'm not here for the noise. That's why you don't see me in anybody's boxes and all of that. I ain't got time for that. I'll come on if somebody asks me, but I don't have time for all that. I'm hoping. I'm trying to lead the way, Donna. If they can see me, well, God, what did Jesus say? If you see me, you seen the Lord. Well, I am a man of God, so I'm trying to be an example of what men could be and hope that men can learn from me, young and old. That's another goal of mine. I'm a leader. I have no problem being that. But I hope that a lot of women tell some other men, hey, check this dude out. And I've been here to help some brothers. And I have recently had some brothers reach out. You know, not everybody that reaches out becomes a client, but I would love to work with as many folks because, again, this is what I do. I don't work for anybody else. I have a couple of agencies that I work with, a couple of churches that I work with. I try to keep myself busy. You're You know what? I received that. Sometimes, and I had to learn how to accept compliments. Thank you, Sherry. There was a time I'd be like, no, I'm not, no. Sometimes you have to let the Lord bring to you a word that wasn't for you to hear directly. It had to come from somebody else. The Hezekiah, Isaiah thing. Hezekiah was the king, but Isaiah had to bring a word, and Hezekiah had to accept it. So I had to learn that. I learned that from Bible study as well. The hubby really needs to hear you. You know what? You can get him my book, From Gigolo to Jesus, or just tell him to come by my YouTube page. Say, hey, you should listen to this dude. You should check out this guy and see. That's another way that he can get me and hear from me without actually having to sit with me. Point him in the direction of my YouTube page. There's about 500 something videos. There's about 500 something videos going all the way back to 2009 or 2010 when I was teaching. So I've been doing this for a long time. And before YouTube, I've been on social media since 1994. I was on Netscape and Yahoo Messenger and MSN Messenger. So I've been around for a while. But, I'm here. But listen, let me get ready to go, guys. Blessings. I got to get ready to do what I do. I got to go counsel, and I'm looking forward to this session. I got some work to do, and then it's back home to get ready for the daddy-daughter dance. Oh, last thing. Please, if you can, anything that you can support toward my daughter's GoFundMe, just click the link and see, share it. We're trying to get to this goal of $5,000. My daughter deserves it, but I will bust my behind and do everything that I can do, even if nobody gave another dollar. But I'm asking for help because 10 days is a long time in Michigan, but I'm trying to get as much help as possible. The videos are saved. It's pinned in my on my page, and the GoFundMe link is in my bio. Just take a look at it, read it, or come to my Facebook page. You can see some of the videos of my little one doing her thing. She's got a bowl tomorrow. She's been really putting in the work, and I just want to honor her because she's been doing what she's supposed to do. So again, I want to thank you to everybody who has given, everyone who thinks about giving, and anyone that has shared. Thank you. I am proud of her as a daddy, and I thank you all. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Thank you for everything. I will see you on these internet streets, and I will see you next Friday, God willing. Take care, guys. God bless.